circulate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
All right. Post Bald Fraud Mania, and we're back Saturday, 3 p.m. That is the time every week to join us live. We're going to turn this into a podcast. We're going to make clips out of the greatest parts of this, and that's all for you guys. So support the channel, subscribe, especially on YouTube. Shout out to the people on X, Rumble, and everywhere else. Not TikTok, though. Remember that. They kicked us off TikTok because, words. But anyway, shout out to Danny. Shout out to the Sleaze in the house. How are you guys doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yep. How'd you guys like Bald Fraud Mania last weekend? It was great,
Bald Fraud Mania. God, can The Rock shut up? I'm getting so sick of that dude. He's so fucking delusional, and oh my God, every time he opens his mouth, it's more nauseating.
We used to love The Rock.
Yeah, big titty sideburn Rock. Yeah, not this one.
He was the best. Look who's joined us. And King Reezy, everybody. You never know who's going to show on the Dr. Huge show. King Reezy coming back from WrestleMania Las Vegas. He was actually there.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
It's going good, man.
Were you actually at the WrestleMania event, Reezy?
No, I was at all the indie shows.
Okay. You want to name a few for us?
So I went to all the GCW shows. They had Joey Janela Spring Break. They had Defy. I went to a Force Rope show. Got to meet up with West Side Gun, Stove God, and a bunch of other Griselda guys. I went to Defy. They had Bloodsport. There was like about 20 shows.
And they call him the Stove God because he's just really good at cooking, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cooking meats. Vegetables. Not crack, kids. We don't talk about that stuff here. This is PG. We're PG, Dr. Huge show now.
Fuck right.
Right, John Cena. Where's John Cena around here? Yep, he thinks it's hilarious. Yep. And so anyway, yep, WrestleMania happened. Bald Fraud Mania, as I like to call it. It's not WrestleMania 41. Let's just all remember to call this specific WrestleMania Bald Fraud Mania, because not only The Rock is Bald Fraud, but this Triple H. You know, I've always been a Trips guy. I've been kind of like on his side. I've seen his vision. I like most of it leading up to this WrestleMania. But Wrinkly Head Mania, Sleaze, remember that ring? He tries to iron it out for occasions like the Hall of Fame, but doesn't work.
The older he gets, the more wrinkled his freaking head gets.
And, you know, you know what he said? This is why Triple H is really not over with me at the moment. He's basically said, if you didn't like WrestleMania, you can go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
So, I mean, I don't like that.
No. So. And it's silly because it's a pattern other people have. Look at modern Doctor Who, for example. They told their old fans, if you don't like this current thing, you're the problem. Disney, same thing. Marvel, DC, same thing. Has it worked out for them? Did Snow White just smash the box office? Or did the box office absolutely annihilate Snow White? So, it's got this mainstream crowd. It's got this group of people. See, I was going to wait to get into this, but this mythical fucking casual mainstream audience that Vince was chasing forever. The WWE does get it at times. It's normally just around WrestleMania season, but they can have it for us for a while because they'll lose interest. They always do. Good evening, Paladin. They don't want to watch wrestling. They just want to dance along to the bloody songs. They want to do the catchphrases. It's fickle. They loved Cody Rhodes 1 minute to go, whoa, and then now they hate him. But then at WrestleMania, when they were still booing Cody, did they still sing along with his theme song? Yes, they did. Did they still stand in the crowd with the old pretend belts like they'd achieved something and earned a belt? Yes, they did. Did they all jump in front of the camera when they got a chance for their 15 seconds of fame? Yes, they did. So, yeah, I understand. I said before we came on that I didn't watch a great deal of Mania. I watched the main events, and I understand that I'm on the outside with this, and a lot of people watched it, enjoyed it, and they could see past all the adverts and all the forced, just corporate bullshit. And yeah, like I've said 1,000 times before, money's good. Money keeps the bloody lights on. But when you stop every opinion or every story, every little inch of a story progression to then be like, oh yeah, look, there's some drumsticks people over there, and they're all dancing at the camera, and oh yeah, by the way, the stage tonight is brought to you by Xfinity, or Xfinity are sponsoring the nameplates on the people walking in. You can't have a single thing where they don't have something sponsored, and it ruins it. And I couldn't sit through it all. Sorry. I'm sure if you cut it down into just the matches and that lot, I would have thoroughly enjoyed it a lot more. But for 8 hours plus, I was like, no, this is just I'd rather change diapers.
And the thing is, too, is everything you said is true. Why do you have to mention it if the stuff is splattered all over the ring?
Mm.
Like, why do you have to mention it then? It takes you out even more.
It's so excessive. Just the ad placement. Believe it or not, I never really noticed it. I did. I knew it was there, of course. The long commercials on Raws and SmackDowns and how many there are, and the picture-in-picture screens and everything they're trying to do just fit more and more ads in. But this WrestleMania, more than ever, was just like an insane amount of ads. Even when the matches were on, I was still seeing ads, and it took me out of what I'm trying to watch. It's so overboard. Like, how about this? I was thinking about the drumstick thing, like the dancing mascots and the prime stations and all this stuff. Did you know, like, with this Maha movement they have with RFK, which I believe he's compromised, but more on that on another show. The drumsticks are some of the most toxic things you can buy at the supermarket, right? Which I used to love those as a kid, but they must have done something to them through the years, like they have to the whole food system. And I seen it on a list as like one of the top 10 like worst things you can eat. And I'm watching a dancing mascot in front of a bunch of kids on WrestleMania. It disgusted me. And I'm not like on my high horse or something like this. I'm not one of these people, but I'm thinking about all this, and I'm like, this sucks, and then they got the other drinks they're selling. What else? What other sponsors can I shit on for them?
Prime.
There was another fruity drink that it just looked like it had a bunch of dyes in it, and Cody Rhodes and everybody are all selling it, and they had multiple commercials.
Oh, there was the Mountain Dew multicolored thing that Bray Wyatt
Minute Maid type stuff. I don't know what it was. But basically it was dyed beverages, which is another thing on the list that we're supposed to like not be ingesting. So
that's funny because I got some Minute Maid orange juice, and I left it at my girl's house, right? So I come up every weekend, and I'm like, it was sitting there for a while. So I looked at the expiration date, and it was like 6 months from now. How is that possible? How is that possible with orange juice?
Yeah, all kinds of pasteurizations and things going on.
They'll just advertise anything though, from orange juice to Snoop Dogg's alcoholic beverages to Wi-Fi companies, Capital One, what's that, a bank, or is it loans? And they'll just like tell Michael Cole, like, do the fucking live read, just do the live read, and he'll do the live read. And I think it was that first match. He did a live read for one thing. It wasn't drumsticks. It was whatever the main sponsor for the first night was. And then before the match even started, as Jey Uso, was getting to the ring, they did the whole, here's a group of people dancing with the corporate all the banners and everything, and then it's like, oh, and there's Jey Uso just walking past the Slim Jim competition winners, and then they've got the dancing ladies who are just like probably from a local sports team. I'm going to guess football. They had the DJ playing Jay's music, who was obviously advertising himself, whatever clothing he had on, sunglasses he had on. His DJ desk had a bloody poster of a video game on it, and it was just like, oh my god, is there any wrestling on this?
Yep, like you said, it's in the entrances, it's a part of the entrances, it's during the vignettes, it's outside, people talking regular reporters to wrestlers and whatnot. There's advertisements every step of the way. You could not escape it for 2 nights. So if you're watching all this and you've been watching a lot of WrestleManias before, you notice that this was a major change, because they went full. I understand they did a little bit of this last year as well. There's always been a decent amount of ads and things, but even with the storytelling stuff, with the remember when this happened on SmackDown and Raw, a lot of that's been replaced by ads, I believe, because there's a lot more. I remember the advertisements more than I do these storylines that they were building up for each match. So they're really going all in on just trying to maximize profit. Like I said before, that this is like the corporation on steroids with Vince McMahon, and it just proves me right when Triple H has been doing all these interviews, and he has zero regard for like hardcore fans or anybody that's actually been into this for more than 5 years. Like, it's all on new money. It's all about getting all these celebrities in, and I don't know how it's going to work out long term, because there's always dips with this wrestling game. But Reezy, when you were in Las Vegas, did you notice like over exorbitant amount of like advertisements or anything there, or was it just Las Vegas?
There was a lot of advertisement. A lot of advertisement, and you can tell that WWE is getting more.
You still with us?
Which, you can hear me?
All right, good. Yep. You sound like you got
tell,
for a minute.
You can tell WWE's getting more corporate and corporate quickly. Like the WrestleCon shows, like the WrestleCon stuff where you meet wrestlers and stuff, they was really strict. So, I mean, we couldn't ask people for podcast invites. It was like picture. You know what I mean? It was like picture.
And this is with active WWE wrestlers? WrestleCon?
Yeah, they have everybody, past and present.
You have everybody. Yeah, past and present.
Because they kicked you off of TikTok too for a while. They suspended
you. Yeah, they suspended me. It's strangely, I can't figure out why, because I've seen people go in WrestleCon all the time with their camera. But this happened to me before when I went to Comic-Con. And I think it's the area. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like they want people to pay to see it. I'm not sure.
How do they do that? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I don't know how they did it.
Suspend you like automatically if you just go somewhere with a phone. That's
It's very weird. It's very weird.
Black Mirror
but
shit.
The show was fun. The show was. I mean, I watched it at a pool party. But I mean, the show was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I just felt a lot of decisions. I mean, I was at a pool party. I guess that was better than watching it at home. But
right,
there was a lot of. I just think that WWE made a lot of decisions that night that was very questionable. And very questionable decisions that made it. It was very lackluster and lazy. But with WWE buying out everything, which is what they're trying to do. I mean, just seeing them announce that they brought out like the biggest promotion in Mexico, that should open people's eyes. And
they're going after another one too.
Oh yeah. So I was told that they have already purchased another one, and they're going to announce it. They're going to announce that, I believe that, and they say like they're going to try to announce something at every WrestleMania, if that makes sense.
You know what's funny too is there was a clip there is a clip online of Randy Orton saying, "Holy shit, these ticket prices are really expensive for his own company."
Mhm.
And like,
Yeah.
I just found out that Raw's coming back to Providence, I think in June or July. And I went to go look at tickets. Like the cheapest one is like $90. And that's in the nosebleeds.
Mhm.
That's gross.
Oh,
So
he's
if
got
you
like
got-
8
you-
kids though, aren't they? So he needs to worry
That's
about
what I'm
that
saying.
shit.
Yeah.
I remember a couple maybe last year's WrestleMania. Nosebleed tickets were like $800 or something dollars.
It's
So-
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be the ultra rich. That's the only people that are gonna go. You gotta take a loan
It's
out.
it's gonna force wrestling fans, and they're gonna force wrestling fans to go to AEW shows and other smaller promotion shows because people don't realize WWE is more for the rich now. So a lot of people that's gonna be going to the shows are gonna be people who have money. A lot of wrestling fans aren't financially, you know what I mean?
I seen
Stable
this in
like
real
that.
time with the Patriots. I watched them be the Patsies in the early 90s. Remember, they were the shits. And I could go to a training camp. They would literally have a rope blocking you off from the team. You could walk right up to the field because nobody gave a shit, right? Except for me, of course. But then as time goes along, you start winning championships, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw the new money, or like the money take it over. And even the stadium games, I would go to old games back in the day, and people would be puking in the stands. It was like the Wild West. It was nuts. And then you go now, and it's like, if you stand up, people are like, sit down. It's like, I'm at a football game. This is what's happening to wrestling. And watch, the crowds are going to turn into Japan slowly but surely, if it seems like it's going that way, because they're taking the soul out of this thing. And then, we're going to have to go somewhere else, probably AEW. And you know what? If AEW Dynamite was like it was 2 weeks ago, I'm good with that. Like, that was, what a time to have one of your best shows ever, and beating and smoking the bitch off Pac, beating his WCW record or whatever like that even means a shit. But you know what? The timing of it right before Mania, I'm kind of invested more in AEW right now, coming off of this just lame WrestleMania. Now I'm going to start watching AEW a little more closely, just a little bit.
It was funny because Raw seemed to have more happening in 2 hours than the entire weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I understand, like, every year after Raw and stuff, after Mania, the Raw is basically their new season, and people come back like Rusev did and all that stuff. But there was a lot more going on in that show, minute for minute.
SmackDown last night as well. Same thing.
Right.
Things, it just felt, I don't know, it felt more like a wrestling show. That WrestleMania didn't feel like a wrestling show. It just felt like one long ass ad placement. That's all that was to me, with some matches in between.
Shopping channel.
Yeah, it's
like the shopping channel, but the commercials were like little wrestling matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. That's a great analogy there. That's exactly what it was. It was like watching the HSN over here, QVC.
I'm not against any company making money, but don't sell your soul for it.
Mhm.
That's what it seems like is happening with them, is that they're so greedy for the money that they're, like you said, they're throwing out drumsticks, they're doing this, and it's really disheartening. And it's taken the joy out of it.
And from everything they've been telling me, like subliminally over the past few weeks, again, I felt like this with Vince towards the end. It was like, hey, Dr. Huge, we don't even want you to watch. Who cares? That's how it feels. That's basically what they're telling me. They're like, we don't want you as a fan unless you got some kids for us.
Yeah.
Do you got some kids that we can sell things to? Then we'll allow it. But if you don't, then you can go fuck yourself.
But we're going to charge them $300 a piece for your kids to come in and watch this. And then like $70 for a t-shirt,
Yep.
That's a size too small, so they're not even going to grow into it.
Right.
They're going to need a new one soon.
But I understand that I get it corporate wise, but I don't have to like it, Triple H. None of us have to like this and go, well, yeah, that was a great WrestleMania, or we got to go fuck ourselves. Okay. You know,
It's
that's kind of
it's just got
stupid.
worse. It's gradually got worse over the last few years. Because this sort of thing bugs me because I'm like, I'm just trying to watch my wrestling. It's like if you watch anime or something, they have a nice big commercial break in the middle, so you know where you're gonna get shit sold to you, and then you can just watch the rest of the thing. Whereas with wrestling, it's just I used to make a point of on the pay-per-views, they would advertise the next pay-per-view after the first match. And I always used to do the piss take hashtag, we've already spent all of your money for this show, so here's an advert for the next one. Because it was just every month they would do that. It's like after the first match. And I didn't mind it when it was like, here's a match, here's adverts in between the match, here's the next match. And it's like, right, well, you go for a piss or you make a drink or whatever. But when it's just, they can't even wait for that. And they do the picture in picture, like they said, like one of you guys said. They also have that, if you missed last week, let's look at what happened last week. They can't just go, oh, last week on SmackDown. They have to go, this week's look at SmackDown last week is brought to you by insurance company P, who
It's the shits.
and then they can't just leave it at that. They have to somehow force the insurance company or whatever company it is his little motto into wrestling, so it demeans wrestling. So it's like, so you don't care about the wrestling. They can just do backflips for all these different companies. It's like you just make wrestling look lame. Also see Dolph Ziggler dressing up as the KFC Colonel. We can't just say, oh, look, nom, 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 KFC, this is really nice. I can just see Vince McMahon going, put the damn suit on. You will be a drumstick tonight, or you will be Kentucky Fried Colonel. And it's just like, it just seems like the adverts are a lot more important to management. Triple H now, I'm afraid, than their actual wrestling.
And they did it both nights. This was the most disgusting thing that I witnessed on both nights, is that, and Drew McIntyre was a part of it, and you could tell that he fucking hated it. They had them dress up as these fucking video game app characters and come to the ring to their big WrestleMania match dressed up as a fucking advert fucking gimmick. It's disgusting.
I didn't even see that one because I knew I'd just see shit like that, and I was like, I'm not watching this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Drew took it off and started throwing the shit in the fucking crowd. And you could tell he was just like forced into it.
Yeah, it was such like plastic spikes, not even like colored. It almost looked like they made it like dark bronze colored looking, but you could tell it was like I don't know what kind of material it was, but it just looked fake as fuck. And then he's coming out looking all goofy. And before that, it was the War Raiders. They dressed the War Raiders up in another video game where they're wearing all this shit. Then I'm like, this is like everybody online too that I noticed at that same time were like, this looks like the shit.
It's the shits.
And it wasn't only that, it was the commentators kept going on about it too. So it took you out of the fucking match because you're like, I can't believe I just saw Drew McIntyre come down dressed up like a fucking video game. And then they were calling him the character that he was dressed up as.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's the shits.
That's what it was. It is
That's the
embarrassing.
shit we got to deal with. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's cringe. So
you're making a mockery of the entertainment at that point. It was disgusting.
Mockery of the business. That's what we call it. We're in this business. We're in their life now. Whether you like it or not, WWE, you can tell us to go fuck ourselves. We're not. So
they know. They know. They steal our ideas.
Mm-hmm. And watching every second of this, going through all of it. Yep. We take this as an idea. Stop running ads for a little bit. You got enough money for now. Make a better product again. Make better storylines. It's been working since the Vince days. Of course, it's gotten better, but you can do better than this. Just saying, you can do better.
Yeah.
So
stop being shills.
So what's wrong with having one big sponsor? WrestleMania a few years ago was just like Snickers. Like WrestleMania was this big on the bloody poster. Snickers was this big. Every time you saw the WrestleMania logo for that year, you saw the Snickers logo, and it's like, cool, Snickers are getting the money's worth there. But it's like, oh well, we've got all the money from Netflix in advance. We've got all the money from however much it costs people in the arena. People don't pay for the pay-per-view prices anymore. But then we've just got each individual match is sponsored by a different advertiser, as well as Snickers sponsoring the whole thing that year anyway. And you're going to get. I think it was Tap Out. The first time I mentioned this in like 2017 when I really got aggravated with it, I just had a picture of John Cena with a Tap Out bloody branding on his forehead. And like, this is the next stage. You're just going to have wrestlers that are just like sponsored by. And when I say sponsored by, I mean branded with some company's logo. Because it's just, that's as far as Vince, I think, would have gone if you'd left him to it. And Triple H is just, taking that and just running with it.
I don't even think it's, to be honest, I don't even think it's Triple H as much as it's Nick Khan. Nick Khan handles all that shit, so I think he's the one to blame. Like, there was another one. It's a cool idea and all that, but again, you're so drowned by the fucking advertising. That the little patches that they said that were going to be on their outfits that they were going to cut out after and put into the Topps trading card things and all that stuff. Cool idea. But still, like every inch of this was a fucking commercial.
I see how they're trying to be sneaky with it. There's this type of marketing that's been around since like the 2000s that I've known of, where I remember people would go on late night shows and start talking about, Kraft macaroni and cheese all of a sudden, like, oh, I just love to eat it and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait a second, why is she saying, this actress, A-list celebrity, talking about a specific brand of, it's because it is an ad placement disguised as entertainment, as like an actual show, which it's not. At that point, it's all one big commercial. And that's what I just watched fucking last weekend, Triple H. Come on, bro. Like, it's
2 nights.
I get that you don't like a lot of fans, and I get that the wrestlers don't like a lot of the fans, especially the older fans. I get it. Like, a lot of these fans out here, they're retarded, okay? We know. But there's a lot of us that like just want to be entertained, and you're stripping it away from us with this stuff. So you got to figure out how to keep making money and then keep everybody happy without jamming things down our throat every 5 seconds. You figure it out. And it ain't more shows. There's another show that they advertised during WrestleMania where they're going to show you how even more fake it is. Everybody, that's how awesome is this?
God, haven't we been shown enough?
Sucks. What's going on, William? I don't know. I'm starting to blow my top. The more I'm like thinking about I'm looking at my notes and stuff. This WrestleMania is like, it's driving me crazy. I can't believe I spent a weekend watching ads. That's what I watched. And everything else that I saw, like the main event of Sunday night, the very end of where The Rock is supposed to come out, right? Let's just get into it now. The Rock was supposed to be there. We all expected it, and we didn't even get it. Nothing.
No, it is.
And here's the funny part, Dot. They advertised The Rock to be there. They sold T-shirts. T-shirts that said, "Finally, The Rock has returned to Las Vegas." And you know what happened? The Rock posted a video. When somebody posted that T-shirt, and The Rock responded with a video of him in Samoa.
Yeah.
And basically, to me, that was him saying, "What the fuck is this? I'm not even there." It shows that he didn't even care. So why are you advertising the guy to sell tickets if you're not going to have him there? That makes no sense.
Did they not expect the Scorsese gig to land before then? Because
that's why I can't stand him anymore. His whole explanation as to why he wasn't there and the reason for him being at the Elimination Chamber because of low ticket sales and all this fucking horse shit. God.
He's
The Rock. Here's the thing with The Rock, and I believe this. The Rock thing. He does.
Oh, no, are you still there? You cut out for a minute. What is The Rock? What's the worst thing?
Can you
about
hear
The
me?
Rock? Yeah, from the top.
The Rock thinks he's bigger than the WWE.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah,
which he is. I mean, he comes to the WWE, and what do you think happens? He's the big celebrity. He's more popular and famous than Triple H. He has more shares in the company than Triple H. He does. He's
So do
brought
you
a lot
think
of
that
stock in the
he's
company.
trying to like steal creative basically away, at least in this one storyline, away from Triple H, and that's kind of where this feud that everybody thinks is happening out there. It's hey, where there's smoke, there's fire. It feels like The Rock and Triple H are kind of not on the same page here.
Here's a side
No.
note. So when Triple H was at the Hall of Fame, he thanked like 75 people, and he did not thank The Rock.
There you go.
That's a lot.
It really does. When his ladder match for the IC championship back in the day, that made the both of them really, that like solidified them as like top guys. So to not even bring him up is, yeah, it's a slight.
They're both running the place now. He thanked Nick Khan. He thanked Vince McMahon, but he didn't thank The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
No.
If The Rock was
I mean-
really that much, sorry,
No, go
no,
ahead.
if The Rock
man,
was
go
really
ahead.
that much into giving, he wouldn't have got that. I'm not going to use his proper name. That £100 fucking mark for himself. The musician that he's got as a little henchman that comes out with the belt. That's like, look at me, I've got this belt. Great. And it's like, yeah, I get that's meant to get heat, but you could have given that to anyone on the NXT roster. That role, sorry, you could have given that little henchman, that little lackey, anyone on the NXT roster, or that's just come up from NXT, or just anyone that needed that rub. But instead, The Rock is going to get the rub, the mainstream rub from that guy and his social media followers and all the current wrestling fans. That's what The Rock's turned up for. The Rock's come for some spotlight. He's not come to hand it back off. A few years ago, we could have done with The Rock to boost WrestleMania. But after after WWE have been trying to get Roman Reigns into Hollywood and they've been really pushing him, we've not really needed him as much, The Rock that is, because people turned up to watch Roman Reigns. Reigns was the big star. Rock would have been a nice complimentary match to a WrestleMania a few years ago, but not now. People are just coming in. Yeah, but I know his name. I'm just not using it. He's £100 mark.
Like you said, though,
for himself.
exactly. I
Mark for
actually thought about
himself.
that this past week too. I'm like, I'm not
He
writing his
sandbagged
name.
Cody. He sandbagged that Crossroads. Cody had to like actually start kicking him out the ring because he didn't know how to roll out the ring. He's lucky someone like Roddy Piper isn't around to deal with celebrities anymore, and that he's got like Cody that's overly polite. Sorry, go on, Doc.
Yeah, it reminds me what you were saying earlier is totally true, that it should have been given to somebody else, that role. Like, he's so worthless and useless in this role that he's been put in. It's just he's the famous guy. Same thing with Pat McAfee on the announce team and everything else. But I mean, Carmelo Hayes, you couldn't put him in that role and he would be perfect. He would know exactly what to do. He wouldn't make everything look like shit like this Travis Scott does. We wouldn't have to hear that, brainwashing, mind-numbing song over and over and over again. I'm telling you, I made a song like that when I first started like tinkering in the music stuff in 2003. Like, that's what I was making, and I thought, oh my God, this is fucking hack. I got to get good at this. And I got to hear that for like several months. So I'm so done with this Travis Scott guy. And when he came out at the end of Cody versus Cena, I knew something was going to happen, but I thought more was going to happen. So when he came out, it was just that. I was just, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like watching this long ass movie, and at the end, they just kind of go to the black screen or something. You're like, what? Don't tell me it's over, because there better be some kind of payoff. There was no payoff. So thanks.
No, you know what the payoff's going to be is that him and John Cena are going to be in a tag match. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to be as good as Pat McAfee versus Gunther. That's going to be a thing too. Yeah.
You know what? Here, listen, WWE does it. Everybody look at this. Buy stuff from me. Go to the store. I need to do this more. That will get me way more views. Maybe I'll start getting in the millions and billions. Teespring. I'm going to post a link to it afterwards if I can remember. But you know how that works. I also have an album out, right? Check that out. Spotify, Apple Music. Listen, I'm like an artist out here. That's what these platforms told me anyway. So, listen, I'm going to keep selling all day long because WWE does it. And why do they get to do it? I'm not even making money off this, really. I'm making something, but nothing, not what WWE's making. I mean, they got like $50 t-shirts and shit. So go ahead, Reezy.
That was gentle as well.
Buy my album, Reezy. Just kidding. Nobody
Man,
buys it anymore.
before I left town, when we talked about, I bought a whole bunch of stuff from the store, man, like t-shirts, cups, and it didn't come to the hotel in time before I left.
Nah, it's all right. Well, but it will. I mean, it is a little slow. This is a third-party operation. I'm not printing the shirts myself. I got a whole.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'll probably be a lot longer, and then they'll give me just like a tiny cut, which it's good. Hey, it helps. I'm not monetized.
I'm gonna buy some more though. But everybody support the show, man. Support, buy the merch.
Thank you. And Danny's supported. And Slee supports. Everybody's supporting out here. Yeah.
I mean, our merch looks better than a lot of merch that these podcasters sell. Like, there's some corny merch out there.
I've been working on some this week.
Stuff.
Yeah,
you know what we should do to sell more is put advertisements on them and charge like $80.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If people think that it's expensive because of the price tag, they're like, oh, this must be something. So, that's just like art. You gotta, why not $1,000 a shirt? Maybe we'll print 5 of them and $1,000 a piece. What do you say, everybody out there? We got
Dr. Huge Show brought to you by Snickers.
Brought to you by Toxic Drumsticks.
Yeah.
Give it to all your kids.
Dr. Huge Show brought to you by plastic.
Brought to you by plastic in your water. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different advertisements we can do. Sell you all kinds of poison. Wipe my ass with some t-shirts and ship them off. I'm sure the crowd would love it. Yeah, so I mean, there's really nothing to go over with the Cena or any of these matches. We've all seen wrestling matches, right? Like, have you ever listened to a podcast that talks about wrestling and they're like, and then he put him in a headlock and then he picked him up and he threw him against the ropes? Those are fucking stupid. Stop it.
Great. Yeah, we watched it. Thank you.
Yeah. Nobody wants to know about the intricacies of the dance moves being done. We'll learn more about that on the new Netflix show that they do or whatever, where they fucking show you like their whole desktop and the computers, how they run everything. You're stupid. WWE is so stupid what they're doing right now. Like, I get they're getting money, but like, what are they doing?
Total Divas and Total Bellas, just people watch that shit. And after that was just WWE's like, what? We got this many viewers on this? Cool. We'll make everything. And that's it. Just reality. They don't just pull the curtain back. They just pull the fucking thing off the rails now. And that's it. There you go. Have a look.
Yeah.
Who wants to
have a stage anymore? Why have curtains anymore? Just show backstage live on there.
And the thing is that this isn't going to be real. You know what I mean? You're not going to see like Triple H yelling at people like he normally would, or people getting pissed off, or people getting into fights. It's going to be so like cookie cutter fucking bullshit.
Oh, it's so unnecessary. But yeah, that match, Cena and Cody Rhodes again. How slow was that? I mean, that you remember I've told everybody on the show before that when I'm watching a wrestling match and it's good, it draws me in. I'll start watching closer, and then the bad ones, I start looking away and I start doing other stuff, and I keep looking back, and then I keep looking away, and I almost didn't even watch the match, pretty much, until Travis Scott came out, because nothing was happening. Because John Cena's old, he's crusty and slow, and Cody Rhodes isn't like this top-notch wrestler that's gonna put on a banger at WrestleMania main event. So it was just really slow, move after move. Travis Scott,
it's the shit.
It's the shit. We go home. So it was.
And as much as we've been saying that we wanted the belt off Cody, such a horrible way to take the belt off him with that dog shit of a match. Like you want to talk about getting buried? That buried him in my eyes.
They did give him that one spot where the ref gets knocked down and everybody gets to count to 1 million while he's laying on top of John Cena. And it's like, well, he should have won, right, guys? If only the ref was awake. And then somehow Travis Scott comes out afterwards anyway. It's just like, come on, guys. Can we get a little more heady with this? I get that kids are watching it and you can be as stupid and nonsensical as possible, but this is the WrestleMania main event, right? We just came off of last year where they're throwing, even the past 5 years, they're throwing guy after Austin Theory was running out in some of these main events in WrestleMania with the Money in the Bank briefcases. They had all kinds of shit going on at one point. But this is just Travis Scott done. Terrible.
Or if The Rock would have been involved, it would have been better. You know, and I think that's what a lot of the disappointment was, is that he didn't show up to end this story. It was that story. He started that story and he didn't come back to fucking finish it. And that's what took me out of it. Because as soon as I just saw Travis Scott, I'm like, no.
So what are we thinking? Are Triple H and The Rock going to settle whatever this is and make something out of this? Or is this just all on Cena now and he's on his own route? Because, you know, his gimmick now is he's going to be the last real champion. He's going to take the belt away that Buddy Rogers and Bruno Sammartino and all these people had, and take it away from the business completely, and they're going to have to restart. I actually like that, but it seems like now The Rock has just quit, and now he's like, I'm just not coming back. It's all you guys now. It's like,
stupid.
But is that happening, you think? Are we just going with John Cena now versus everybody in the WWE with Travis Scott, and then possibly they become a tag team and go up against Bad Bunny and somebody else? That's, oh my god,
That's the shits.
so fucking bad.
Bad Bunny and Randy Orton.
Bad Bunny. You know,
Randy Orton's gonna lose. I mean, that, like, I would have been excited about that match, but Randy's gonna lose. He's gonna parade around with this belt saying he's taking it home for the next fucking 10 months. You know, I hate it. I hate it.
So are they waiting for Cody to come back at some point and take it back off? Like, he's got to chase now Cena to make sure he saves this for everybody because he's Dusty's son, don't forget.
I'm so tired. I'm so very tired. It's so tiring.
And
like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then you got The Rock and you got Triple H out here telling everybody all the business and how it's saying, hey, this is just the work. Don't get so upset about it. What's the big deal? Oh, you don't like it? Fuck you. You don't like it. It's like, what's the big deal? It's just wrestling, right? Come on, guys.
I think every week we should just tell our fans to fuck off.
Yeah. If you don't like
you don't like what Danny says, but fuck you. You know?
Can we bring David Schultz back? Like in his prime, just like leaving backstage and like just gonna have a word with that bald prick over there with a wrinkly fucking scarred forehead who keeps telling everyone how fake this shit is. Go and just show him, please.
Yeah, why doesn't The Rock and Triple H just put their heads together and make an ass out of themselves? Get it?
I mean, that's exactly what they've been doing. That's exactly what they've been doing. Especially Triple H, just seeing this bald, big nose guy constantly do these interviews, and I feel like, oh my gosh, like, dude basically thinks he just knows everything. He just thinks he knows everything, and really he's just destroying the show, man. He's a horrible booker.
A big nose with a small dick.
There you go, right there.
What happened to Triple H, man? Like, what happened?
It's really been this WrestleMania build. Before this, it was okay. Everything was, they were on fire. You know what? The day I noticed, like, here we go. Like, this is something different. I was expecting Raw on Netflix to be like fucking next level. You know, like, okay, we're going into the modern day wrestling now that I've been waiting for like my whole adult life. Like, they're actually going to treat it in a way where they're going to try new things, be more movie-like. When now they've just done all this tribal chief stuff, and they came out and they did basically what they did at WrestleMania. It was totally forgettable. Like, yeah, Roman Reigns and Solo for the tribal chief thing. It's like, yeah, tribal chief. You're the tribal chief again. Done. Like, that's what it was. And it was like the build up to this show was so massive. Oh my God, it's on Netflix and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Nothing changed. It was just another show.
Nothing.
And it was actually not as good as some show. Last night, SmackDown was better than Raw on Netflix. I can actually remember last night compared, and you would think I would remember the first Raw on a streaming network where you can actually like say shit and fuck. And they not like they had to even do that, but they didn't. Nothing changed. It's just another wrestling show. So ever since then, I've noticed this corporate, like they're all about the sponsors and nothing else really. That's why the stories and everything have kind of they've fallen off. And one of the best things, that SmackDown tag team division, they're actually making sense of it, right? But they're still not like really like bringing it as far as, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with this Karrion Kross thing. Remember, Karrion Kross cut this amazing promo after WrestleMania, and he had mentioned how Scarlett, his wife, would have ideas, and he would go to people with them, and they're like, no, those ideas are too good. That's like the really, really good stuff is for them. And I've heard this before in WWE. Why in the world would you try to have something, a better storyline for a main event than anything else? Why?
We've said it.
What's the purpose in that?
Yeah. That's why WrestleMania fell so flat, because they focused on basically 3 matches and the rest were whatever.
But as long as it's full of adverts, as long as a lot of celebrities, or even just not even proper celebrities, just want to be celebrities, can be seen on camera, hobnobbing, socializing, and be like, oh, look, we're wrestling. We're part of the mainstream entertainment thing now because we've got Macaulay Culkin in the crowd, not looking traumatized from his fucking childhood or anything. And here's some pretend fucking musician selling music. Well, it's not real music, but, you know, I think it was the first night's intro package, Triple H was like, WWE is everywhere. And it's like, then why do people need to come to your arenas? If your product is everywhere and you give belts out to everyone, whether you're a football team, a radio DJ, a presenter on a fucking morning chat show, why do people need to gather around your rings and watch your product if your product and everything is everywhere? Make it just in your little area and make all the actual diehard fans rabidly impressed with everything that's on. And then your outsiders will be like, oh, what are they so excited for? Let's go and have a look. If it's like, I don't need to watch wrestling because they were just on like kids' Nickelodeon program, whatever. It's everywhere. So what? Yeah, they just spread themselves too thin. And it's for that, the chasing of the mainstream casual audience, which was Vince's vision. If it came out Vince McMahon still on the phone with Triple H now, like giving him little ideas, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised. But when Trips first took over from Vince, people just gave Triple H a free pass because it's like, oh, he's not going around grabbing women's asses, or oh, he's not going around like trying to aggravate Rusev and Lana's relationship because he, as in Vince, can't understand why Lana would be with someone like that. So he's just going to meddle with their relationship on international television, whereas Triple H maybe wouldn't do that, but is not the Messiah. He's still a very naughty boy. He's good, but he's not as bad as, nowhere near as bad like professionally as Vince ended up being. But then he got a free pass, and I think he's just a bit high on his farts now because it's been 2 years, 3 years, where everyone's just been like, oh my God, Trips is so much better than Vince, and at least he's not as unprofessional as Tony Khan. And it's like, what are the other options? Is that the only measuring stick we've got? And now I think he's run it, so it's just very obvious now.
Yep. And along with the ads, all weekend long, we had
nothing
even more
but ads.
You know what we had more than even ads was more of, where the fuck are you? More of this guy.
I knew you were your favorite. Your absolute favorite.
So much. He was on like the Hall of Fame, and he's on the SmackDown, he's on the WrestleMania, he's on, like, he felt like he was everywhere. He was before WrestleMania, he was after WrestleMania. I'm just like, enough of this guy. Now he's in storylines. So I'm liking that he just got choked out by Gunther this past week. Very entertaining watching him turn purple and stuff with Gunther like not letting go. And I was kind of hoping it was a shoot, not a work brother. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he's now in my life still, like even more so. He's going to be probably still announcing and in a wrestling angle with Gunther, still doing that stupid show that I avoid. There was so much news, like 50% of pro wrestling news comes through Pat McAfee's show now, because that's where everybody goes.
Yeah.
For whatever fucking reason. They can't come here with me and my 117 viewers right now, but they'll go with him and the millions of Disney viewers and everything else. Because, I mean, why is he so famous? I still am not getting it. It's just because he was in the football league and now he made a few connections as a punter, which is like, they don't even draft punters. There's an NFL draft going on right now. Not one team is going to draft a fucking punter unless it's like the 7th round and they don't really give a shit anymore. And they're just, you know, like, so that's like the cachet he's bringing is, I know guys, right? And that he's turned this and he does these pictures all the time. Talks with the voice he has all the Oh, I can't anymore. I can't. I'm going to stop for a minute. You just please give me some takes on this.
I want to say that when he came out, you know how they announced the announcers before all that shit. I want to say that picture was on the Titantron thing. Just disturbing.
He looks like such a goof. He sounds like a goof. He's not funny. Like, people aren't like, when I bring this up to some people and they're like, no, I like Pat McAfee. And I'm like, well, why? And they're like, well, he seems to really like wrestling. That's like the type of thing I get with the Travis Scott stuff too. It's like, well, he's a wrestling fan. It's like, is he? He didn't even know how to roll out of the fucking ring. I get that he knows more about wrestling. Obviously, he wrestled Adam Cole. He built a wrestling ring and he proved how into it he was with Triple H and all that when he was in NXT. I don't give a fuck. He stinks. You know, at the end of the
day. Most people think he sucks too. It's not like that's where like Triple H telling us to go fuck ourselves is mind numbing, because they'll put out a product that the majority of the people will complain about and they'll still go with it. They don't fucking listen to their own fans.
That sound like Mr. McMahon? That's exactly the same thing Vince would do.
Good old Vinnie Mac.
Yep. But I mean, he's the man over there now, Danny. He's the guy. Like, he's the guy.
Pat, like I said before, McAfee was endearing to a degree when he first came into it, because he was like, oh my God, I'm this really excitable character and I like wrestling, but I'm learning all these new different elements to it and these different and he was just like, I don't know, why did that happen and why did this happen? And he was then opening up for Michael Cole to answer the question and also answer for any potential viewers that had that same question, which was sort of like, it was quite clever, but he's still that same wide-eyed idiot from however many years ago now, and it's like he hasn't learned anything in all his time in the thing, and he could have just done with that growing a little bit. But look at the bright side, you're now going to get to watch a match with Gunther battering the absolute piss out of him. Doc,
that's the only shining line?
Does that not give you wowzers in your trousers?
It's cool. Like, I like watching him get choked out. I'm gonna like watching him get slapped up and stuff like that.
It's not going to be a couple. He's going to get slapped to shit.
It felt like when Gunther attacked him that it was one of those things where it's like, oh, you want to get into this? You're just going to be you are wrestler now? Is that how this works? You just you are wrestler? And that's how the actual pros that have been doing this for like 20 fucking years or whatever, like for a hot dog and a beer, are like, oh, you're just gonna step into this and be in a pay-per-view now with me. Okay.
That's the way you should be treated too. You should get the shit kicked out of him.
So good. Hopefully that's what comes out of it. I'm telling you, Gunther. I know he slapped Jay a little bit more. He was gonna drop the belt to him. But still, it wasn't enough. Plus, this Jey Uso, I don't know if you guys noticed in that match, he did not want to get chopped at all. He could not handle it. Like, come on, man up, bro. You're the champ now.
Pre-show Jey
Yeah,
Uso.
you're a wrestler.
Oh, sorry. Opening contest Jey Uso.
You know, they yeeted for 10 plus minutes on Monday Night Raw. You saw a little bit of that, right, Danny?
I saw that they were yeeting, but I didn't know it was like a full
Yeah,
10
it
minutes.
went on forever. Oh, Sammy Uso came back, and big deal there, really, with me. He blocks me on Twitter. Like, why do I care? Right, but he's back, and they're basically just he's happy for him, and then they started eating again and eating it. Maybe it was more like 15 minutes. It was a long. I was laughing to myself because I'm like, nothing's happened for like 15 minutes. They're like, no, play it again. Let's just yeet some more. Okay. All right, Triple H. The stadium's full of people like it. We're selling merch. I get it, but
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the fans making it about themselves. This was always a sort of thing that happened at the Raw after Mania, and you've got all the incidents with the beach balls, you've got the Mexican waves, you've got all the different chants for Bayley and things like that. But then once the WWE under Vince's leadership started going to these different countries, and it was like the first time a live televised show had been to country X, the audience would play up. So they'd be like, oh my God, remember this memorable audience? And I can't remember which arena it was or which country did the big yeet thing. And it was like, oh my God, they're going to be using this video clip for Jey Uso packages for years and years. And then it just turned into a competition with the crowds rather than the crowds going and enjoying the wrestling that was on. And they're making it about themselves. And like I've said before, when they turn up with the belts and it's like, look at me, I'm on telly with my belt. And you just have to look at the video packages they use. The reactions for like The Undertaker losing his streak. As the guy in the crowd with the big eyes, that's like, oh my God. And now everyone just does the big fake reactions because they want to be, they're not there to watch and enjoy the wrestling. They want to get famous because of the thing they're watching. And I get people do that in podcasts like we're chatting now, and people want to get like well known because of it. But there's plenty of people that do like the watch and react videos, and it's just all fake as hell because they just want to be included in some bloody package.
Mm-hmm. I only want numbers. Yeah. I want numbers because that's what everybody else wants. That's like, so, I mean, as viewers, because viewers are, people are just people, and they see something. And if you have a lot of people watching, they go, this must be good, right? Even though a lot of people fake their numbers or whatever. But you know what you were talking about, like, totally reminds me of, remember Sleaze a couple of years ago, we went to that Raw, the one where Roman told everybody he was sick, and Ambrose turned on Rollins when they were tag team champions. When that happened, when Ambrose turned on Rollins, there was a lady in the crowd in the front row. I'm sure you could probably see it. She stood on her chair and did a fucking Home Alone for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And it's just like, she made it right on TV when I went home, and I'm checking online and stuff like that. Not only did Dr. Huge show up on your TVs, authentically, genuinely invested in the match, but then they showed this other lady close up of her because she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it so much she had to stand up on her chair over everybody else. And I'm like, this is sickening.
Right.
These people disgust me.
So can you imagine in this day and age, with the tickets being like $200-$300 and going there just so you could get on TV?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going there for the match. You're not going there for the stories or the entrances. You're just waiting for that camera to come around.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't even have a podcast or anything. No. I would even understand that. You got something to sell, you or whatever, then it would make sense. If you got if your man wipes or whatever, and you're like, I don't have $3 billion to spend on ass wipes for advertising these things. I'm just a small ass wipe company. Right, where's my ass wipe stuff, John Cena?
It's
we're getting close. There we go. You can't even wipe their ass with these man wipes, but they have to go to the show, and then maybe they bring a sign and put it up for 2 seconds, and then you end up on Peacock forever or some streaming network. But that's the only sense I could make out of it. If you're just some middle-aged lady, I don't know, from Providence The fuck are you standing on a seat going like this just to get on TV? All right. What?
Oh,
That's not my what's. We're gonna get it right someday, folks. There it is.
I don't cradle my own balls enough to do that shit. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't see why people are so into themselves. It's really gross.
And man, these wrestling crowds lately. Fort Worth last night was not very good. Very good show. I had all kinds of, haven't seen this guy in months. They had that tag match and the fucking ladders and chairs and all this. And yeah, it's just they were very mediocre. So that has a lot to do with these shows. So instead of just looking to put yourself out there, maybe get more crazy. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want these wrestling crowds have been getting less crazy over the years. Yeah, they chant. Yeah, they do all that goofy stuff. That's obnoxious. Just be crazy. The little kids with the foam fingers, the middle fingers back in the day, sleeves. Remember those? Let's go. Let's get something. Oh, you're on Netflix. If we're just going to keep it corporate and you're just going to try to steal money from families, essentially, like what are you doing? Like, that's not that's not a great long-term plan, ethically even. So just try to get that soul back into your shows. And maybe that's what they've done by getting GCW back. Is that what it felt like to you, Reezy? You still with us?
I'm still with you, man.
How were the GCW shows?
Oh, those were awesome, man. I got to meet a lot of people. A lot of people were there. It was actually a lot of humor and a lot of fun. It was exciting to be there, man.
Were there any WWE wrestlers involved in those shows?
Yes. So Natalia was at the Bloodsport show. She fought. And who else? Killer Cross. And
that's right. Did he do a thumb wrestling match there?
He said a thumb wrestling match. He fought there. He fought there, and I can't remember the guy he fought, but he fought at Bloodsport too.
Mm.
And the other girl from NXT, I forgot her name. She comes out with the sword and shit.
Oh yeah, she's been doing a lot of stuff like with Bloodsport and all that.
Yeah,
Petrovic.
Yeah. She was there. But as far as people I ran into Lexus King, of course. He's a funny dude. Yeah, I ran into Lexus King. I seen Bobby Lashley.
That's
MVP.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, ran into the Hurt Business.
Yeah. Did you join the Hurt Syndicate now?
Nah, man, they wasn't going for it, man. I wasn't. I wasn't. They didn't want me in the group, so
you gotta get them hookers.
I know, right?
Hookers and
I mean, Lashley is kind of funny because Lashley walked past me with 2 chicks on his arm.
Yeah, from MJF.
Yeah, this dude
Nice.
from MJF. Yeah, here we go.
Because you know you're like,
Wow.
That's right. You know you like hoes, right, Reezy?
I know that you like hoes.
Godfather was there. He tried to bring Joe Hendry some hoes.
Of course.
That was funny.
You know you like hoes.
Yes, what he said. I know you like hoes, Joe Hendry.
And Henry just replied.
Yo, he replied. He took the hoes. He
he
definitely took the hoes.
He had the
Nice.
best weekend ever. Then he had a match with Randy Orton in WrestleMania, and he got a bunch of hoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was everywhere,
him.
man. I think they're gonna just buy his contract out. They're just gonna buy his contract out and be like, "Yeah, you're gonna come over here, gonna purchase him like a toy."
As soon as he loses that TNA belt, you know he's coming over.
Oh yeah,
It's a no-brainer.
oh yeah, he's a toy. They're gonna purchase him like a toy, like a brand new toy.
Yeah. And he's good. I like him.
I mean, the fans love him. I mean, he's more over than a lot of their top guys, which is sad. And he doesn't even work for them.
Yeah, and a lot of people were all bitching about, oh, he got squashed and all this stuff. And he even said it himself. He's like, that was probably the highlight of my career.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And it was a huge pop. They loved it.
And people got to understand. You got to understand, people. This is a guy that is a champion in another company that somehow got involved at the biggest show probably in the world, one of the biggest shows in the world with the biggest company. He doesn't even work for them. In the main event against one of their legendary stars, you can't beat that. It's not a squash match.
Right.
The TNA World Title at WrestleMania. Whoever would have thought something like that would happen?
Right.
You know, it pissed off a lot of people. The ones that didn't make it on the WrestleMania, there, none of them are liking that. They're like, "You're really
No.
guy from TNA and put him on."
Well, no, I can see why they're mad. But my thing is WWE is that you have pushed and promoted Bailey, Chelsea Green, and I think Nia Jackson's injured. Somebody told me, but yeah, you have pushed and promoted them, and none of them was on the none of them was even on the card. Mike Bailey won a match. You put Bailey in a match for a number one contenders match for the titles, and you replace her with Becky Lynch and didn't even explain why this is even happening.
Becky Hogan.
Oh yeah, so that didn't make sense. It was like, where did Becky Lynch come from? Like, what the hell? When was the last time we seen her? We were better off without her.
Chelsea Green. You brought up Chelsea Green. She's like one of the most over women in that whole division.
Yes.
Right? You don't put her on WrestleMania and then you make her lose her title to fucking Vega. Like, what? I woke up this morning and read that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, she was making something of that fucking title.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I thought it was a joke at first. I woke up and seen the same thing. I was like, no way they did this.
Right.
I smelt it coming last night too, because after she won the title, I just ignored it. I didn't even write anything about it. I'm like, whatever. I kind of expected it. I'm like, how many Zelina Vega matches are they going to have against Chelsea Green where she loses? So I expected her to win,
Right.
and then she did. And I'm like, all right, now what? And then Aleister Black comes out, and I went, that's why.
That was the reason. Because now we got to cater to everybody's wives, like Michelle McCool.
Yeah, yes.
You know, we got to get her into the Hall of Fame as a mid-card fucking diva. Let her go longer than the only person that went longer than her at the Hall of Fame with the speech was Triple H.
She really went that long.
When you had Lex Luger, you had Lex Luger, a legend. You had the Natural Disasters, legends, and you let Michelle McCool fucking go longer than them.
Yep.
So why not give Zelina a fucking title? Because that was probably part of the contract.
She gets so much traffic, Vega that is, to her Instagram or wherever she does most of her cosplaying. I'm not really a wrestler. I just like to dress up and satisfy men's needs in some sort of like indirect way. She should be grateful for for that bit of promotion.
And you know, there's no disrespect to Michelle McCool, but I'm just gonna be honest. If you look back at Michelle McCool, she was in the era where women, she sucked. She was in an era where women did not have to perform at the level of professional wrestling as they do now. They were divas. They were there for just for eye candy. Yeah, she was with a cool tag team called Lay Cool. I liked Lay Cool, but let me ask people something. Lay Cool, there was no tag team titles back then. There was no women's tag teams back then. I mean, Lay Cool was there, but like, other than Lay Cool, what did Michelle McCool do other than be Undertaker's wife? I think she's
that's the only thing I thought that she did was with Lay Cool.
Yeah.
Until they put out this bullshit package of all the accolades that she
nobody could
over her
2-year
fucking career.
Yeah, nobody could tell me, and you know, I want somebody to do it. Name me a match that you remember. Not a longer match you would go back and watch from Michelle McCool. And you'd be like, oh, that's a legendary match. I'll even give you a better one. Give me something from Layla. Layla was hot. Yeah, she was smoking hot, but I can't even tell you a match from Layla. I can't tell you anything Layla done in WWE back then. They were all there for eye candy. I think the only to me, I'm gonna just say it. Michelle McCool is in the Hall of Fame because she's Undertaker's wife. She got as much time on the mic
Yeah.
because she's Undertaker's wife. Nobody even
Right.
cared or talked about Michelle McCool before any of this.
If she wouldn't have married him, there would be none of this. Absolutely nothing.
Mandy.
Man.
I mean, she is
I
pretty
see
hot.
Mandy. She was at the party.
I remember more of Mandy than Michelle McCool.
Don't we all?
Michelle McCool was in that period where I didn't watch really, but also
Yeah.
what was it? Oksana? Was there a Russian girl that was named?
Yeah,
Oksana?
Oksana. So
I remember
Oksana,
flipping stations and seeing her on the screen, and I really like that. I'll tell you that much. I
here's
do
the
remember
thing.
that.
Didn't she climb over Gold Dust to get into the? Sorry, climb on it, over Gold Dust or something like that to get into the company. I'm sure that's who she was with to
Really?
get in the door. I'm
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
I might be mistaken. I'm sure they were a thing at one point because on camera she came in with Cesaro,
Yes.
Okay.
but I think
Yes.
in real life, I think she was with Dustin at the time.
Hmm.
I could believe that. I could believe that because I know back then they had some girls that could wrestle, but they never got any shine because it was all about the eye candy. Because I remember Oksana, Maurice. They had they signed Karma. They had some girls, but it was like you guys aren't what we're looking for.
It's funny you bring up Maurice because she'll be the next one.
Oh yeah, you know, she no disrespect to Maurice, but like again, she didn't do anything. The WWE Hall of Fame, and I would just tell people this, and then I'll leave it alone. The WWE Hall of Fame, as we all know, and if you don't know, there's something wrong with you. It's a kayfabe Hall of Fame because they don't have a real Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is fake. Anybody becoming a Hall of Fame, they put Babe Ruth in the Hall of Fame, people. They put Babe Ruth in the Hall of Fame, people. Everybody's
And
in the Hall of Fame.
isn't it about time that we have an actual building that is the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Like with all the money and shit that they're fucking making now and all this stuff, and they want to, Triple H was big in his speech about, past and present, and why don't we have a physical Hall of Fame?
They'll put it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
Man, they're already
Michelle
talking
McCool
about
can
doing a
go.
Mania. They're already talking about doing a Mania in Saudi Arabia. So it's like, okay.
It'd be a better crowd than fucking Las Vegas. I agree with that shit.
Well, they're planning on going back to Las Vegas. The crowd I was at was much more louder and better. So I didn't really hear too much of the crowd in Vegas. I was at a pool party with a bunch of large TV screens watching it. So,
But speaking on this
With hoes.
ladies wrestling thing, we had the Becky Lyra verse, Liv and Rodriguez. Liv and Rodriguez get their titles back. But what do you think? She takes over for Bayley, and apparently the word is this was her idea. That she basically was like, this is what I want to do. I want to come back, be with Lyra, 2 Irish girls, and then I'll turn on her and, all this business. So,
God.
a primary role, doing the Becky Hogan thing, right? If you believe in that stuff. But it reminded me a week before I was hearing stories. The rumor was that she didn't want to come back unless they'd written something good for her, because she's not going to just take any old thing, that a storyline or whatever that they're going to give her. She wants something good because she's fucking, come on guys, she's Stone Cold Steve Austin, don't you know? She's up here and everybody else is down here like the Baileys of the world. That's how I'm reading all this. So what's your guys' take?
Oh,
That's why I hate her.
I can't stand her. I can't freaking stand her. None of it makes sense. Here's my thing. You give Bayley the #1 contender spot. You tell us and everybody, her and Lyra is going to fight for the belts of Mania. Mania starts. Oh, no, Bayley. We get Becky Hogan. They win the belts. These 2 girls win the belts and then drop them the next night. What was the point of what was the point of having Liv and Raquel lose at Mania in the first place? There was no point for them.
What was the point of having the match at Mania to begin with? If you were just gonna just wipe it away the
For a
next night.
WrestleMania moment, pal, we've got the highlight package.
Oh, that's
We can
right.
just use
I
it.
can tell you right now, Liv and Raquel, talking about WrestleMania, Liv and Raquel, if y'all was going to do that, they should have won. They deserve that moment more than Becky.
Yeah. You could have done all that in one night without changing the belts. They lose the match. Becky gets pissed, takes out Lyra. We move on to Monday.
At least explain why Becky's there. You could have said Bayley was injured, or Bayley got attacked backstage, or she's injured. You just automatically bring out Becky Lynch. Don't explain why she's there. She wasn't even supposed to be there.
And they obliterated the whole women's tag team just to get to this spot.
Right.
So
you can hear, whoa.
Oh, when her music hit, I was just like, oh my God.
I hate that damn song.
Here we go again.
Isn't that song awful? Come on,
it
guys. That
stinks.
song's awful.
And, you know, when she comes around here, you know, because we're in around the Boston area, they always have her come out first because it's like, she's Becky, she's Irish, right, guys? And it's like, everybody's like, oh, come on. It's like, that's not like the selling point. Nothing. What is she's, you know, it's just the whole, I don't buy it every time. Like, people are going to be afraid of her. I forget, Liv or, it must have been Liv. She was all like, oh no, when like she's like walking at her. It's like,
yeah.
What is she?
All 105 pounds of her. You know?
Oh, you just made me mad. It's like, oh no, we got to do the Ric Flair thing and crawl into the corner. Like, yeah, you're so frightening, the man. I'll never buy it. Ever.
God. That was the cringiest part. And I know, you know, Liv's just doing her job and all that shit, but oh God.
Yeah. So
there's nothing threatening about Becky Lynch.
Nothing.
It's back in our lives again, folks.
Her mic skills are awful. Her mic skills are awful. The promo, if they gave her less promo time, I wouldn't dislike her as much. But God, her promos are awful. And she keeps talking. They give her so much mic time. It's cringe. It's just cringe.
Oh, how about
like,
the press conference? I didn't watch the press conference after me.
I didn't watch it either.
Becky Lynch is supposedly out there, and she brought her baby out there. And I'm just reading the comments, and people are like, "This is fucking annoying." I'm like, that's why I'm not even watching.
Of course, they gotta cater to personal issues. Oh, Becky has her baby. She's here. Her husband works here too, and he's our top guy. So we have to push Becky. We have to give her what she wants.
But that's what a lot of it is. A lot of it is they're catering to Seth. You know what I mean? They don't want to ruin what they have with Seth. So whatever Becky Lynch wants, if she wants to bring her fucking kid out, or she wants to talk in the mic for 35 minutes saying absolutely nothing in that terrible fucking accent, they're gonna do it.
She's got the same level of, like, I'm just disgusted when they come out, like her and Omega. So when they, like, I'm watching AEW this week and I'm kind of getting into it. I'm not like big on the Death Riders or anything, but Samoa Joe had just beat them a week before with his trios team of Powerhouse Hobbs and a few others that I can actually like get behind a little bit. And then after everything, Omega walks out, and it was just like when Becky Lynch came out during Mania the past weekend. I'm just like, I pretty much, I just went, yeah, I'm just going to see what else is on. I don't want them. He looks crazy. You know what Kenny Omega looks like? He looks like a beach bum. Yeah, essentially. You know, like that. He looks like like a guy that would just like walk into the 7-Eleven off the beach. You know? Like in flip flops and like he doesn't strike me as
going to buy Mountain Dew.
He's just like another guy, you know, that he doesn't strike me as this celebrity like, whoa, oh, now Kenny Omega just came out. Or, oh my God, the man just came out. Now everybody's going to be terrified. I'm not believing that. I just don't believe it. It's crazy.
And then he puts the mic up to his mouth and that little girly voice of his comes out. The whole presentation is terrible.
Yeah, Becky's still more believable than Kenny Omega.
Yeah, sadly.
Well, she's got balls enough to come out and like dope slap John Cena and stuff. And she'll like slap people's glasses off their faces that are like legends in the business. She just has no shame. She really believes that she's like the top guy in her realm. And so yeah, that's just like I get that people are buying it, but what the fuck? That's crazy to me. You're really buying that this little girl is just gonna beat the shit out of like Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, you know, like you name it. It's like it's not what? No way.
105 pounds soaking wet.
Okay. But hey, here was a highlight. It wasn't all bad, folks. We did have the main event of night one, which was Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Good match. Again, I'm not going to go through what they did in this match, what made it good and not. I mean, we all can figure that out for ourselves. But you had the triple cross almost, a double cross. Paul Heyman, is slamming everybody's nutsack, just one after another. And so first he got Punk. He fooled Punk. I'm on your side, Punk. No, I gotcha. And then he's like, no, I'm on your side, Roman. Gotcha. And I seen it all coming, which made it even better because when you see it coming, it's usually not as good. But this time, when he's about to give him the what for, and then Rollins is laying there, and all you had to do, Roman, is not waste so much time and just hit Rollins in the back. As soon as he gave you the chair, you might have, missed all this, but it's not real. So, it ended up being that Rollins, he got the girl in the end, guys.
One of the best parts is so Roman pushes Paul to the side, right? And I'm watching Paul the whole time, and he kept staring at Roman's ass because he's trying to position himself to do the nut thing, but it was so comical. Like I'm like, oh, he's obviously going to hit him in the nuts.
Bless him. He's not very agile and nimble, is he? Because he's however old he is, but yeah, he had to get into position for the Punk one as well, and it's like, oh right, yeah, we can see what's happening here. He's not just going to hit a nut shot out of nowhere. He's going to really have to slowly creep down and get into and not break his knees. But yeah, he did what it was meant to do.
I like that when he hit Roman, he had to add the little
to make sure he got on both. Yeah,
rubbing. Yeah,
that's what Pat McAfee was doing the night after. He's like, and then he did this, and then he started doing this, and he started doing this. I'm like, all right, maybe he didn't do all that, McAfee, but
yeah,
he rubbed it up.
I just don't want to. Yeah, man, they hype, like you said, man. This guy is a former punter, and they hype this guy up like, oh god. I was happy to see Gunther beat him up though.
Oh, that was awesome. That was the best in the world. But then again, like I said, now he's in our life again.
It was surprising to me because I was so against like the triple threats and all that. And after watching both Manias, both of those triple threats were my favorite matches. The girls and then the Seth and Roman and Punk one. I think those were the highlights of the night.
Yeah. It was done right, especially the men's. I know for certain, like they really didn't miss any. Usually, like you said, they're messy. Triple threat matches get a little wonky here and there. This thing was clean. These are pros doing this match, and that's what it felt like. The one after with Cody and Cena just felt like an old home. Like one move, take a break. One move, take a break. But this was. It was very fluid. So yeah, it was to me, that was the match of the weekend.
It was set up nicely as well. Like the betrayal, you could see the betrayal of Punk from Heyman coming because when Punk got down on his knee through the Eeks clobbering time, Heyman's there, he put his hand in front of him to show him what time it was. And it's like they've built this up as like, oh my god, it's CM Punk's. He's finally got his WrestleMania main event, which I will mention in a second. But then Heyman's just like building that up even more, just so then when he knocks him down, he falls even further. And I was just this little extra bits like that. But yeah, with the this was a main event of WrestleMania, and now apparently CM Punk has had his WrestleMania main event, even though it was night 1 of 2. many years ago, when The Undertaker was against CM Punk and Vince and Trips were selling the idea to CM Punk. They were saying, no, it's a triple main event. You're in the main event with The Undertaker. And CM Punk at the time was like, no. The main event is the very last match of the show. Why? So my question is, why now is this acceptable when it was the final match of the first night, not of the whole thing? Why is that the main event of WrestleMania ticked off on his bucket list when wrestling The Undertaker under the previous administration wasn't? I don't think either of them are. I think if Punk, and I do think he deserved it. I'm not saying he didn't, but he hasn't done the main event of WrestleMania in my view. I just didn't know if leaned into that a bit more.
Yeah, with like 2020 vision, if they would have switched the main events, even though I know that Universal title, whatever they call it now, the Undisputed, this and that, is, the main title, and that should be at the end. But I don't know, that other match was way better and had all the fireworks we were looking for in an actual main event second night of WrestleMania deal. But they've been doing this for a while. Like they called last year's with or was it the year before? I can't even remember now. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, when they got the belts off the Usos. That was a Saturday night main eventer for WrestleMania. And
that was 23.
They kept pushing that as that's a main event. That's a main event. And that just reminded me of the same thing with Punk with this is a main event. I'm like, well, that's what they're telling everybody. So I guess that's what it is, right?
Because Punk was...
We're supposed to be fooled because it's two different nights. That's why. It's supposed to fool us because we're so dumb.
But Punk was adamant on Colt Cabana's podcast that, however many years ago it was now, with no, it wasn't the last match of the whole thing. It wasn't the last thing you see of that pay-per-view. So therefore, whether it was against The Undertaker or not, it wasn't the main event. I'm sorry. And then he's come back and they've obviously said, oh yeah, we'll give you that main event WrestleMania thing now so you can tick it off on your bucket list. But then he hasn't done that. I don't know. I believe he deserved it, but I don't think he's got what he wants. But he's just going to be happy with this. Personally, I'd nudged Cody aside last year and just extended Cody's story and just put an extra chapter in there where, oh, look at CM Punk coming back and taking what I deserved. He's meant to look out for the new guys and that lot. I thought that could have added nicely, but they went ahead with the Cody thing anyway. Because Punk's obviously only got so many bumps left. Cody's got a lot more. So yeah, I think that's it now. I'd be very surprised if CM Punk got that actual main event at WrestleMania match now where he gets to wrestle for the belt. Yeah, well, John Cena's just come back, hasn't he? So I suppose anything could happen. But
this WrestleMania just wasn't booked properly. Just like match-wise. Like Drew McIntyre Priest. Is anybody asking for that? Like, well, why did we get that? And why is it still going? Like, even last night, Priest come out and attacked him again. Like, now it's not over. Even though Priest got his head kicked in, it's not over. So, okay, we're going to continue this. I guess it's like they booked themselves into a corner with a lot of this. And I'm seeing people out here in the Twitter streets and stuff writing, just put this guy with that guy, and they mixed up the card, and it looks like 1,000 times better. Like this card that they put together was just not good from the start, really. And that's why I fell flat on top of the ads, on top of like everything else. It just was boring.
And instead of Triple H coming out and saying we should go fuck ourselves, maybe he should just take this as somewhat of a loss, go back to the drawing board, and get some better fucking ideas for booking.
Every year they've had the two-night WrestleMania, you could very easily cut the cards down into one awesome, or at least much more a much better night, into just one single night. In my opinion, I think you could easily just get rid of a lot of the shit there, but because they made X amount of money one year because it's 2 nights, they can't go back on that now. They feel like anything the same or less than that would be a loss. And it's like, but you've still made $1 million, squillion, billion, trillion dollars this evening. Just because you didn't make 73 million, squillion, trillion, billion dollars. Do you know what I mean? You're still filthy rich and happy, and they can't go backwards. Or they can't sort of like not blow through the roof each year. It's sad.
Yeah, it's exhausting. These WWE people, and them trying to just wring out every dollar and every cent that they can out of the time that they put on the screen. But how about this Dirty Dom? He's almost like a good guy now. Everybody was cheering him.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? We're into it now. Okay. What is it? Because he won the IC championship? Is it because Finn Balor is so down? Finn Balor is like Seth Rollins, but more L's. Been taking way more L's to lesser talent. So he's like, I've been liking him lately as a bad guy. He still has to deal with Dominic now as the IC champion in his own group. It was a good match. I would put it in the middle of all of it. It was there. Penta, Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Dominic, which he won the Intercontinental. But yeah, Dominic is a new guy now. It's the chicken tender era, guys.
I didn't see that one. You know, like I got all the matches in the first night right. Second night, I totally fumbled, and that was one of them. Like I did not see Dominic winning, but hey, it's a change, you know.
Yeah, I thought they were going to give that to Penta, to be honest, like one of the new toys, just to be like the whole look AEW. This is how you could really use this talent. I thought they were going that way.
Yeah.
What do you think, Reezy? You a Dominic fan now? You with us?
Reezy.
Wake up, Reezy. No, maybe he's not. He's not there anymore, guys.
Oh,
you can't tell.
He took his thumb off the mic. Here we go again.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Can you hear me better?
You're
Fuck that.
staticky.
All right, cool.
Nope.
All right.
All right, let's try it.
I'm
Try
gonna
to
leave
log
this
out.
on
Log back in.
Are you getting blown by an alien? What is that?
Can't even hear anything.
Fuck, that was loud.
All right, okay, he left.
Hear me?
Reezy, where are you? He's like, I'm pulling in the Saturn.
Are you being electrocuted? The fuck's going on?
Reezy,
All right, I'm back.
he's back. He's back.
I'm back.
Just woke
I'm
up,
back.
Coach.
I hit the wrong button on my phone. And it kind of messed everything up. But no, I'm a big.
Those phones tricky.
Yeah, I'm a big Dominic. I like Dominic Mysterio. I like Dominic. I think Dom has a bright future ahead of him. So I don't mind him winning the. I didn't mind him winning that match.
Mm-hmm. Dirty Dom is that's family entertainment right there. Having a guy named Dirty Dom come out in a mullet and a Dirty Sanchez mustache. And yeah, everybody's gonna be cheering for him now because he's got the hot girlfriend. They're champions again. Judgment Day got a little bit of pull. They've been taking L after L from that. After Damian Priest and Mommy left, they were the cool kids, the popular ones. Then they created the Terror Twins, which was the absolute shit.
It's the shits.
Except if you were a fan already. And you've seen how that's gone for them, right? They can't win. They needed the Judgment Day, right? That's what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Hot take, everybody.
Yep.
Judgment Day made Mommy and Priest, not the other way around. How about that?
Yeah. That's some good analyzing.
And like Reezy brought up earlier, AAA has been bought by WWE. And I predicted it a couple months ago. Remember, I was like, where are these Mexicans coming from all of a sudden? It's like, we got Mexican wrestlers everywhere. Well, it makes sense now. I mean, they even have a white dude as a luchador in this El Americano Grande. Gave him a WrestleMania match and everything. And, I heard Chad Gable, he was very upset this week because we still don't know who El Americano Grande is. And he's like, listen, just like The Miz, just like Bailey, I wasn't on WrestleMania either. Like, what the hell? Like, can we get Chad Gable a spot?
No shit.
So, yep.
I'm loving this. I'm loving the whole Chad Gable shit. I don't care what they're saying online. I love it.
Ends up beating Phoenix. He put the steel plate under the mask again. Got the job done. He's taken the win back to the, what do they call it? The Gulf of America. That's where he's from. Must be an island in the middle of there somewhere.
He's from the ocean.
So, yep. Dirty Dom, you won. You're a winner. Americano Grande. And then we got LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, which could be one of the best matches of the weekend as well. And that stuck out to me. That I think there were 2 or 3 matches before that on day one, and that finally woke me up. That was like the first match where I'm like, oh, there's an actual good wrestling match going on, which I didn't expect. Because, I mean, I like LA Knight and everything, but LA Knight isn't necessarily the most nimble guy in the ring these days. But, hey, what's his name? Jacob Fatu. He came out last night on SmackDown and is really solidifying himself to me as a good character that we can be entertained by. And what I mean by that is he's being himself and amping it up. So he's wearing the Raiders jerseys. He's rocking them backwards like crisscross, like the old gangster style back in the early 90s. He's acting as if the things he says, everything is just like very West Coast gangster, that's what he's portraying. And it makes all the sense in the world. Solo's trying to like take him down a couple wrong, being like, I'm the one that brought him in and blah, blah, blah. He's not having any of that. And now that mid-card scene around this U.S. title with Drew McIntyre getting involved last night, Priest getting involved with McIntyre again, they're in and around all this. It's one of the better things going on in wrestling right now. At least it seems like this is the start of it.
It is. And Jacob is so believable because, like you said, he's doing what we always say. Just it's you, but amped up. So you believe when he comes down to the ring that he's going to beat the shit out of somebody. You know, it's just honest fucking shit.
Yep. You like his gangster-reezy?
No, definitely. Definitely. I mean, oh gosh, there was so many things wrong with this card. So many things wrong. Like, why did Jay listen, no disrespect to Jay, but Naomi should have won that.
That's true too.
I felt Naomi should have won that because Jay is not that experienced in the ring as Naomi. And storyline wise, it would have made sense for Naomi to win. Jay didn't need this match. She needed to be in this match.
They're pushing her though. She went up against Tiffy last night.
You know what was funny, real quick? That was like the battle of the tits, that match. Because her and Naomi were having the hardest time keeping their tits in. And like me and my girl are laughing our ass off because I couldn't pay attention to anything else besides waiting for one of their sets of tits to fly out. And it was Jade Cargill who had the smaller tits.
Yeah, they make them tiny little ring gears for these girls for their pay-per-views. Booties out everywhere. Booties always.
I had to rewatch the match and try to not pay attention to it. So I had something to talk about besides tits.
Yep. And then Coach says, then buy AAA Wrestling and get rid of Del Rio. Yes, that's what happened, I believe. Because, you know, Del Rio's out here. He's always popping off, right?
Hey, big nose with a small dick.
Yep. Where are the pussies from?
Where all the pussies live, right?
Where? Stanford?
Where all the pussies live, right?
Yeah, that's what he meant. Stamford, Connecticut, folks, where all the pussies live. And then Paige is like, no, stop saying that stuff.
I'm gonna go fuck Xavier Woods.
Supposedly. Oh, him too.
Oh no, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
I seen it.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that. I saw Jism on wrestling belts, titles. That's why all these guys kissing these titles, licking the titles. Jacob Fatu. Maybe you want to think thrice about that.
A lot of spit roasting,
you know. LA Knights. You're gonna take a belt off of LA Knight. You know, LA Knight's all about the hose. He has to be. He looks it.
Because you know you like hoes.
Exactly. You know you like hose.
Right.
LA Knight. I mean, that's why he has a porn star name. LA Knight. Uh-oh. Here comes LA Knight. Okay, how about this Logan Paul AJ match? And this is one I called. I figured Logan would be AJ. AJ would be set on a course because of Cross because he's trying to get him to be a bad guy again, or at least do the wrong thing for the right reasons, as Cross says. Makes all the sense in the world to me, because how are you going to let Logan Paul destroy the wrestling business by beating you, supposedly a legend in the business, AJ Styles? Get your head out of your ass.
Yeah.
Let's try to talk. Let's try to coach this guy up. No. Let Logan Paul beat you. Knock you senseless. Twice. No. Because he knocked you crazy the week before on SmackDown and then held you up like fucking Weekend at Bernie's with a... And then you still lost the match. You think John Cena's going to lose after laying on his face every Raw and SmackDown? It's not happening. But it happened to you. So you better get that get back and you be bad. I don't summon demons with Cross. Do whatever you got to do. You know, you're a bitch.
It's another match that just was. It was more of just Logan Paul just walking around the ring, sticking his tongue out for like 10 fucking minutes.
Logan Paul, Pat McAfee. Enough of them with their mouths wide open. Soy pictures. Isn't that what they call it? The soy pose.
Ugh. Know what I called it back in the day? You wanted a penis.
Whoa, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're just waiting for a penis just to show up, flying to their mouth,
just out of the sky.
Fall out of the sky.
Well, maybe someday. I wish you luck on that, Logan. You know, one of these days.
Catching a penis.
Yep. But again, it led to that Cross promo. Probably if you're gonna be cutting a promo, everybody go listen to that Killer Cross promo, and I'm sure they have, because he mixed the perfect amount of real and work into one promo that you had to listen to it more than once to figure out what was real and what wasn't. And that's what made it amazing. And they really need to get going with this guy. He made so many good points. You know, like you tell me to be undeniable, I become that. I actually am over now with all the people that were like my biggest critics and stuff online saying they wanted to get rid of me and I'm boring and this and that. And well, now I'm doing it, and you guys are still like, nope, Joe Hendry or anybody else, you know. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing online like, oh, WWE's about to push him. Then just push him. Okay? Don't fuck up the narrative or say some bullshit. The guy deserves to be pushed. You don't have to put him in the main event, but like every time he's on television, he's spot on. You know, even his last match was great. Like, what are you doing? But you'll have Travis Scott come out.
So bad. He's so bad.
Zelina Vega win a title.
Even this past week when Travis Scott comes out and swings his arm and totally whiffs and does the whole, it looks so like such shit. It was terrible. He's not made for this. He's just a guy that is famous from something, and now they're just going to put him on the screen and put him in front of everybody. It's the Pat McAfee syndrome all over again, and they just keep doing it over and over and over. And then we don't have guys like Corey Graves or Carmelo Hayes or somebody else taking these roles. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. But
I can't imagine the talent being happy about that shit at all.
Yeah. But you know,
I mean, the real talent.
But if you say something, I'm sure you would get buried in an instant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That hasn't changed. Because I'm sure Karrion Kross did something. You know what I mean? He did something. It absolutely makes no sense why a guy like that is not on television wrestling and being more promoted and all that stuff. Unless something happened.
And like Cross said in that promo again, it's all about the viral moments, right? That's what this is all about now. Just the Logan Pauls of the world is in the influencing stuff. And it reminded me again, this weekend, you got Drew McIntyre doing the whole Twitter gimmick in the middle of the match. And he got 100,000 retweets or something crazy in like under a minute.
Jesus.
And I'm watching this in real time and going, my God. But then, look at where he's at. So it doesn't get more viral than that. And he's still's like stuck in like the mid card, no man's land type deal. I don't know. It's just, like I said, the WWE has their guys and their girls that they are going to put over. That's why I laugh when Becky Lynch just shows up, takes spots, whatever. And I'm just like, how do you have that pull? Oh, that's right. Seth Rollins. Got it.
Well, it's even like Alexa Bliss. She came back during the Rumble. She had one other match, and now she's gone because she's not part of that inner circle. 10 times better than Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
She should go right to the fucking the main shit. But nope. Because the Wyatt Six hasn't come back, they're not going to put her in there?
Mm-hmm. You heard the rumor is she's supposedly going to be the leader of the Wyatt Six.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, she's so much better on the mic, at least, than Becky Lynch. Yeah,
they've been talking about this since the Wyatt Six debuted, and it hasn't happened yet. Anytime they try to do something with the Wyatt Six, let's be honest, it flops. You guys have been trying to figure out what to do with the Wyatt Six for over a year now, at least. What are we going to do with these guys? They're either on TV, or when they are on TV, they don't do anything interesting. I say just disband the whole thing. It's not working.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Have any final words for us, Danny, before you take off?
Yeah, I do have some final words, but first I'd like to talk about dannydamage.co.uk, where you can... No, I'm joking. I'm not really going to cut to an advert.
And stickers.
Yeah, stickers, T-shirts, loads of articles to read on wrestling and plenty of other things. Thanks for having me. It's been great talking about Advert Mania, the showcase of the commercials, and I will catch you next time. Very sorry to bail short notice, but I'll see you all soon. Have a good weekend. Oh, the rest of it.
Danny.
Take care.
Danny.
Yeah, so Bald Fraud Mania, full of ads, tons of ads. Check this out, everybody. This is a way you can support the show. I have merch, Teespring, the Dr. Huge store, link all on my socials. Follow me at DrHUGEshow all over the interwebs. And yeah, I got all kinds of stuff going on. Impressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait until I get my sponsors from some toxic food company. Waiting on that any day now. Yeah, maybe
brought to you by Cumberland Farms.
I mean, where's Blue Chew? Come on, Blue Chew.
Right. We're all about dicks. Wait.
You're trying to make them hard, right? And this is a place.
Hell yeah.
We can make
everybody. I mean, some of the work. Listen, I know podcasts. There are podcasts who don't even get near the excitement that we do.
Of course.
And they get advertisement by Blue Chew and all these other things. And it's like, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Got to call them up.
No. But
you guys, the dick pill company, we got a show for you.
Yeah, there's got to be like dozens of dick pill companies now. I mean, look at the name of the show here, folks. Come on. It would work perfectly.
A hot dog.
We'll make everybody blind and deaf out here with your products. You hear about that, Reezy, right? Don't take any Viagra. Makes you blind and deaf. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's bad. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not good. We don't want that. Then you
Blue Chew, if you sponsor us, I'll just pop them the whole show.
Yeah. Chew a whole pack like Big League Chew. Hey, I'm going to take a quick break. You guys can take over. You want to see a video real quick? Do you want to see that video I made?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. This week, guys. This is what we were talking about with Cross, the greatest promo ever. And I took my liberties with it, but trust me, everything he says in here that's his own words.
What do we want to talk about?
Let's talk about how awesome it is that Logan Paul just...
We want to talk about.
Let's talk about what Logan Paul represents.
What do you guys want to talk about?
The shortcut. Feels so good to be here. Feels so good to be in the business. Thinking about all of the funerals that I wasn't able to attend. It's awesome. It's really good.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Do you guys know we have 25 years combined experience, and what are we doing on Mania?
Well, they know because they're normal human beings, and they actually love professional wrestling, but apparently that doesn't mean shit anymore. That doesn't mean shit.
What do you want to talk about?
You want to know what the best advice I ever got. It was from Bill Goldberg.
What do you guys want to talk about?
It's all about viral moments now. That's what it's all about. Viral moments.
What do you want to talk about?
On behalf of all of the true fans of professional wrestling, guy with the suit and tie in the truck, go fuck yourself.
What do you guys want to talk about? What do we want to
All right, I'll be back. I'm just gonna get a drink, but you can discuss further. I'm about to get into Charlotte, Tiffany, Nia, and all that business. Be right back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the sleeves.
What do you want to talk about, Reezy?
Let's talk, man. Let's talk about this Killer Cross thing, man. I feel like, to me, he has shown that not just he a better promo, he could perform a lot better than a lot of the people over there. The fans like him better. He's entertaining. I mean, but it just seems like anytime they try to write something for this guy, it's the shits. It just doesn't work. I think they need to change their creative team. They need to figure out something, fire somebody.
You know what's wrong with the creative is it's just not consistent, because there are good spots. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, we talked about the triple threat and all that stuff with Seth and Roman and Punk. That was perfectly written. But yeah, I agree. Then they'll go on the whole other side of the spectrum where it's just hot dog shit. I don't know how you can have a talent like fucking Karrion Kross and not be able to come up with something for him. It's just, he's got the look, he's got the promo, he does all that fun shit where he interferes with everybody. How is that not bigger?
That's a question that I would like to get answered. Because he's not the only one. He's not the only one.
Right.
Kind of like
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, Chelsea Green. The biggest part of your show. She was making that title something, and then out the blue, she doesn't get on the WrestleMania card. And not just she not get on the WrestleMania card, she drops the title to Zelina Vega, who can't, and there's no disrespect to Zelina Vega, but she can't, they haven't been able to get her over for quite a while now.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind. They need to get more consistent. I don't know if it's replacing some people or just telling people that, nope, these storylines are not good. Like Vince was very good with that.
Yeah.
If the writers came to the production meetings or whatever, he would flat out say, no, this sucks. Like, I'm not going to use this. I just think it's way too much of Triple H just, I don't know, catering to people or not being able to say no a lot, but it's too much.
It is. It's way too much. And, I kind of feel like that, one thing with WWE, they're becoming too much catering to the masses, if that makes sense. This advertisement, a lot of this advertisement that be on a ring and stuff, I'm like, what is this? What is that? They don't show a commercial for.
Yeah, I don't even know what half the sponsors are, to be honest with you.
Some of them there.
I was looking at the ring. Yeah, I was looking at the ring during Mania, and I'm just like, who the fuck? What company is this? You have the Snickers, you have the Cricket Wireless, and those But then there were some I'm like, I don't even know what this product is.
They don't.
I'm gonna go buy it.
Right.
Like,
they don't show any commercials or advertising.
That's the point of advertising. Is
right.
Yeah. The point of advertising is to get it out to your audience so they can go out and purchase the shit. But I don't even know, like they're advertising shit from over in Saudi Arabia. That doesn't have to do with this fan base over here. We don't even have access to the product. So why are we doing that?
We're international now, sleaze.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This whole Netflix Raw thing seemed to, I thought it was going to be like this great thing. Oh my God. You remember that first night? I'm like, Kay Adams is coming out of nowhere, which is an NFL lady correspondent or whatever. And she's just like, the Undertaker comes out and she's like, what's this guy's story? And I'm like, get out.
It's the shits.
Get out.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Who's this? What's this guy's story about? He's only been probably the most known wrestler the past 50 years, but now everybody's involved in wrestling because they see money, you know.
Yeah. And that's the most
Mhm.
important thing that's pissing me off, is it's bringing in the people that only see that it's making a ton of revenue.
Yeah.
You know, it's disgusting.
Like, we actually like this shit for some reason, even when
Right.
it was like abysmal, like around 2016 when we first started the show. It wasn't good. You know,
No.
but it gave us something to talk about at least. But pro wrestling has just always been there our whole lives, and now it just feels like a whole nother universe being stripped away from us.
Yep. It started fixing the NFL, and they took that away from us, and now they're doing it with
Yep.
wrestling.
They did it to your Star Wars.
Yeah, my Star Wars got corrupted by Disney. I can't even. I can't even. They're doing it to Marvel.
Everything
Disgusting.
stinks now, and yeah, Marvel. So everything has a few shows, movies, whatever, here and there that are pretty good, but overall,
Daredevil was
Yeah, I guess
fantastic.
so.
Daredevil was great. Yeah. But they brought a lot of that old team back. Marvel's a different entity because the people running Marvel keep a distance from Disney. Where Star Wars, they're catering to everything that Disney wants. That's what disgusts me. Is that they're not sticking to they didn't stick to their core people that made up these stories, and they bow too much to the fucking mouse and all that shit. Where Marvel's like, okay, just let us do our thing.
Hopefully,
Disney killed Star Wars. They totally destroyed that.
Are you a star? Are you a? What do they have a word for the group of fans? You know how Trekkies,
Assholes.
assholes. That's what they call them.
It's the second worst fucking fan base next to wrestling, I think.
Yeah.
It's so
Really?
toxic.
Yeah. I don't know that much about it, but I mean, I've seen that people complain about Star Wars and stuff, but you know what it is? Because it's so hardcore over the first 3 movies they grew up on. They don't want any deviation from that in that universe. And I think especially now when they actually try to deviate as much as possible just to get a rise out of people, it kind of, you know.
Yeah, but then with Star Wars too, it was a lot of like they implemented the woke shit and all that stuff that was so clear to see that was more important. Like their agendas as a company were becoming more important than the actual storylines and everything like that. Like they had, for instance, I'm not going to keep going on with fucking Star Wars, but they had this show called The Acolyte. It was one of the better things that they had put out in fucking years, right? And didn't have a huge fucking following and all that stuff, but it had so much potential. And just because the budget was too big, they said, nope, after the first season. Left it wide open. Fans were fucking pissed off and all this stuff. But because of the corporate shit, you can't have it.
I think I heard about that people were upset with The Acolyte because the Force came from lesbian women. Like they scissored and made
there was a lot of the woke shit. There was there was these lesbian witches that made these 2 twins.
Oh.
What? It was so obviously, let's go for the LBG elemental P fucking people.
They created the Force sleaze.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if you use the Force, you know what that means. Hold on, let me find it.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
You must be if you're using the Force, right? And the Force came from lesbians.
Right. Lesbodians.
You know?
Yes. It's an island of lesbodians.
You know, tell them something else.
Go frost your hair. Do something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, did you talk about Charlotte and Tiffy at all?
No, we were talking about the advertising still.
This Charlotte and this Tiffy. Did you see Tiffy got a big welt in her forehead? They tried to cover it up with makeup last night. This from last week, and they still couldn't cover it up. She really got a gag. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was like half welt, half rug burn.
Oh, she got teeth knocked out. Like
that's
crazy.
right. She did. She chipped a tooth. Oh man. Yep.
Oh yeah, Charlotte still got it, huh? Just knocking people's teeth out.
I think we're right about where our stances are with a lot of these ladies in the wrestling business. Bailey's the good girl. Everybody loves her. Baron Corbin's out here coming to her defense. Who else? There was a Stone Cold, I believe, came to her defense this past week. And then we're seeing what's going on with Becky Hogan over here and how she's calling her shots and shit after not being there for however long. And the way Charlotte acts with new talent, and there's Sasha Banks, of course. We've already known about her. She's just all about herself, and that's why she's not even in WWE.
It's not even so much the guys, because back in the day it was the guys that buried everybody, girls, guys, all that stuff. It's the women now that are doing it. They're the ones being political and saying, no, I'm doing my own shit and I'm going to tell you how this is going to go down.
Yeah.
That was Charlotte Flair. That's Becky Lynch, but because they're in the clique.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I don't like it. These ladies can be very manipulative out here. And I think they're using a lot of their powers backstage.
And the thing is that business went up when they both left. And I'm not saying that was the reason, but it's not like, oh my God, all interest in the women's division went out the window when Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair left. It's not the case. They built up better stars like Tiffany and all those, Chelsea Green came back, and it's I don't understand why they cater to people that aren't big money drawers.
A lot of it, again, it's because they're connected. Charlotte has her father, Seth and Becky.
Becky's got Seth.
And Sasha Banks, again, she's not with WWE anymore. Because her and Naomi one night just said, you know what? You're not doing anything with these titles. This sucks. You're not giving us any respect, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We're out of here. And then Naomi came back, of course. And Sasha's still gone. But then we're left with Bailey. And Bailey, I think, just gets used and abused. I think she's one they'll be keeping around forever. But they're not always going to be promoted. There's too many wrestlers, everybody. I get how you're upset about things, and this one, the Miz didn't have a match at WrestleMania, and this guy and that lady, but there's, what do we want, a 5-day WrestleMania week? That's the only way they're all getting on.
Well, during the Hall of Fame, Triple H said something very interesting that stuck in my head, and I think he was talking about Finn Balor, and I think he said it about maybe 2 or 3 other people. He said the word consistent. Look at Finn Balor, not in a title thing, blah, blah, blah. They keep him right here, consistent. Bailey, the same thing, consistent. You know what I mean? But after a while, you got to think to yourself, like, I'm tired of being consistent. Bailey just went on some rants recently. I think she might be getting fed up with it. And now they're thinking about changing her gimmick to a more like MILF thing and all that stuff.
Monday Night MILF. I've been trying to get
Monday Night MILF, I guess. Yeah.
That was Mickey James' thing for like a week or 2.
Yeah. Now she doesn't like ass cheeks.
That was weird. That was very strange. For somebody that had her ass out all the time. Not complaining. Dude wipes. I just keep looking at dude wipes here.
Oh wow.
Dude wipes.
Yeah, dude wipes on the brain. Have you been on a steady diet of dude wipes, Paladin? Like your favorite there, Pat McAfee? He eats them.
Yeah, God.
Yep. Washes it down with prime.
This show is brought to you by Dude Wipes.
Mm-hmm. Blue Chew and
Go
Dude.
buy a pack. Buy a pack from the Dr. Huge store.
Wipe your ass and get hard. Here it is. Maybe I'll get some someday. I'll put them up here. We'll get some dude wipes. We'll get some. How about some knee-high boots? Dr. Huge knee-high boots for all the strippers and hookers out there.
Right. You wear those when you go to your wrestling
genius,
matches.
just like Kanye West, right? I'll have to.
Right.
Where's my KK outfit? K outfit. Did I add too many Ks or not enough? I don't even know what they call themselves anymore.
Yep, there goes Reezy.
He left. He's like, he's going to bring out his KKK outfit. I can't do this. So he's trying to come back. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, it'll be all red, white, and blue in the colors of the show. Just say Dr. Huge on it.
Yeah.
Why not?
big
Yeah,
hot
sure.
dog in the back. Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get offended by things, except like wasting my time, like with advertisements, like that kind of
Right.
gets on my nerves more than anything else.
Yeah.
No,
It's a lot.
He's not coming back, I don't think.
Apparently not.
That's all right. Well, anyway, this Charlotte match and Tiffany match, it was good. Charlotte got to beat her up a little bit. Tiffany wasn't having it. She fought back. She actually held on to the belt. Thank God. I think if they put the belt on Charlotte, it just would have added to how bad this WrestleMania was, and all the decisions made in it were as well. But yeah, I mean, it was decent. It wasn't a pretty match. It was dirty. It was kind of more physical than usual for many reasons. But I like that. I like seeing people have welts on their heads in a fight.
I expected it. The way the buildup was, it wasn't going to be a pretty fight. I thought they actually did that right. The match itself, Tiffany had some good spots. Charlotte Flair, I think, needs to retire.
You wanted to retire?
I'm tired of her. I was tired of her fucking 5 years ago.
Wow. Keep trying, Reezy.
You can't wipe my ass.
Right, dude wipes he's talking about.
Dude wipes.
Your brain is filled with feces.
Then maybe wipe your brain. Yeah.
Dude wipes on the head.
Wipe your brain with it.
Right.
Put it in your ears.
I'm also not going to cook you.
He's talking to a baby there, Sleaze. He gets it. He gets it.
Not yet.
I'm not even going to cook you, baby.
I'm also not going to cook you.
Eat you raw.
You like some raw.
How are you sounding, Reezy?
Raw
You back
baby.
with us for good?
I'm back with you for
Nice.
good.
For life. You can
For life.
never hang up on this show.
Dr. Huge Show for life.
We're going until 10 p.m. You ready?
Oh,
Oh God.
Hey, listen,
Oh,
man.
God.
Speaking of that, WWE having their 2-night WrestleManias, each show about 6 hours. You guys are better off getting a halftime show.
Yeah. I thought of that too. That's funny you brought that up. I was like, there
idea
should
to
be a
just
break.
get a halftime show. Because I think what burns fans out the most is a lot of these unnecessary advertisement commercials that are just stupid. They have some stupid WrestleMania commercials.
Yeah. You know what I did notice this year more than most is by the time Sunday came around, I was exhausted. Like I found myself during matches that were really good, just not giving a shit that much that I had to go back and watch them because I was so fucking tired of wrestling.
Imagine being one of
That I think if I watched that on Saturday, I would have been way more into it, but I was just so mentally drained.
Imagine being one of the wrestlers, because that Hall of Fame after SmackDown went until like 2 a.m. or something. It was
later than that. It was like 4:30.
and they were there live, like all these things. So it's like, and then they got the NXT at 1 o'clock the next day, and then oh my God,
I thought of who I thought of during all this was Liv Morgan, because Friday she wrestled on SmackDown, then went to the Hall of Fame. Then Saturday she was doing all that promo stuff they were having them doing clubs and all that shit. And then what was it, Sunday? It was either Saturday or Sunday, whatever. Then she did Mania. Then she was on Raw. Then she was on NXT. That's insane.
And imagine a lot of the time they're doing this like all year round, pretty much. So imagine what she looks like under that makeup. She looks like the Crypt Keeper under there. She looks amazing on screen, but when you're awake like a meth head for 18 days straight, you're gonna look all kinds of crazy.
She wakes up looking like the sleaze.
Everyone looks amazing on TV until the camera's off and they take off the disguise.
I said you can't be judging ladies' looks out here, especially on TV, unless you hit them with a fire hose first. Hit them with a fire hose, and then we'll really see what's going on. Ever see that meme of the guy that like gets in the shower and comes out and he looks all handsome, and then a woman looks all done up and gets in the shower and looks like a rat when it comes out. Yeah. So yep. Man, maybe I'm gonna start wearing makeup now. I'm thinking about it.
I
do. Only for the show, right?
I'm really a black man.
Oh, I see. So,
but we had to be
reverse
diverse.
Soul Man. Remember that movie in the 80s? That's old school. Imagine making that movie in this day and age.
I still, you know what? Yeah. As a black dude, I still laugh at that movie. As much as hate as that movie gets, that movie is more like stupid funny. Like, whose idea was it to make this stupid movie? That's how it's just funny. I find it funny.
In the 80s movies, there's nothing crazier. There was so many weird, just like here's another random movie. Mannequin. Remember Mannequin?
I love
that watched movie. Mannequin probably a billion times when I was a kid, because it was always on HBO. So it was like I've seen that. So it's what a weird ass movie though. When you really think about
so bizarre.
No wonder I'm so like, fucking all over the place with everything. It's a movie. Imagine a little kid watching a movie about a mannequin that comes to life, but then the guy might have been crazy. It's because everybody's like, "What are you doing? You're carrying around a mannequin everywhere."
It was so good they made Mannequin Part 2.
Right. There was a 2.
That's how fucked up the 80s were.
Part 2. Yep. This is all stuff that could be brought to the writers' room, Triple H. So you want some interesting, like some new ideas? Hey, listen,
have one of your wrestlers bring out a mannequin.
Probably fans of that too. That's why Al Snow had the head.
Perry Saturn had his mop.
Yeah, that's right. Even a mop, and Dean Ambrose was the plant.
Yeah.
Wow. What other match?
Dean Ambrose is a plant.
What are we forgetting? Are there any matches I've skipped over? I know there must be at least one, but I don't think we hit on many of them.
I think if we didn't, it wasn't that important. But I don't think we skipped any.
You know what? We skipped Jay and Gunther a little bit. I think we talked about it in passing. But yeah, and you know what? It was just a bunch of yeeting. And now that's all that we've been getting ever since. Now that they're celebrating the victory, it's just more yeeting. So, okay.
Yeah.
20-minute eat sessions like every week. Just more time wasted. It just feels all these Raws and SmackDowns are starting to just feel like a colossal waste of time.
Yeah. And I'm not looking forward to stuff. I don't know. especially after this past weekend. I mean, I was just, by the time Raw came around, I'm like, I can't do it. I look at clips. I could not watch the whole fucking show.
Yep. When I figured out I could watch a Raw in 50 minutes, if I cut the fat out when it was in Europe, like, oh my goodness, like a 2.5 hour show that it's really only 40 to 45 minutes of actual something going on. Yeah.
It says a lot. It does.
But yep, The Rock, you might be a great guy. I don't know. I'll have to meet you someday, but kind of a bald fraud still right now to us.
It wouldn't surprise me if that guy just ended up buying his own promotion. That's just what it seems like he needs. Like I don't know if it's issues between him and TKO, but for TKO to sell Rock Las Vegas t-shirts and promote this guy, and not just does he not come out, Travis Scott makes an entrance that makes you think Rocky's gonna come out after him, and Travis Scott takes like forever to get to the ring.
But it proves that The Rock in real life is an asshole. You know what I mean? Like he'll come out and say, "Oh my God, I grew up in wrestling. I love it. I'll never leave," and blah, blah, blah. He screwed the biggest show of the year. After knowing all this, just by him being like, "Well, I'm the director of the fucking board. I could do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to go to Maui, and sit on a hammock instead of show up for WrestleMania for the fans you love and the company you love."
He's got that fake title.
He's a fraud.
Oh, it's.
I mean, throw in the face. It
It's
was a
also
slap in the face.
A dick move.
Somebody should arrest The Rock.
Are you
And
going
here's how
to
and
arrest?
here's more of a slap in the face because he responded to the t-shirts and stuff. Because I believe somebody was posting like Las Vegas Rock t-shirts, which I seen there, and he responded with a video of him and Maui. And that to me, that's him saying, "Don't know why the fuck that's being promoted, but I'm over here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Enjoying my celebrity life.
A dick.
And to put the heat on the fans a little bit more again, WWE held a roast. We all knew it was going to be a bad idea. This is a bad idea by the WWE. So on one day, Triple H is telling me they care about the families and their kids because those are the future fans. That's where the money is, and that's where they're going. And then on the flip side of that, you're going to do a roast that we all know is damn near X-rated. And what? Your fans are going to complain. You're going to try to copyright everybody that puts anything out about it. Everybody's complaining. The amount of times I've seen people go, "Oh my God, it's not even funny. It's offensive. They're saying they're being racist and they're saying this and this." That's a roast, everybody. I don't know if everybody, this is what a roast is, okay? You get a bunch of comedians together and you create a dais too of famous people. In this case, it's going to be mainly wrestlers. So you're going to have people that aren't comedians doing jokes. All right. They're not good with timing. They may not even written their own jokes, usually the case. So when somebody goes up to a podium and is about to tell jokes live in front of an audience, and yeah, they may be racist and this and that, but it's not like they're professionals and they're going to relay this message to you listen, racist jokes are funny. It does exist. Jokes that are super offensive to whatever you think offensive is, everybody's got their own lines. As long as it's funny, it's okay. All right. The problem is, I think that people aren't getting is not everybody's going to be funny. So they may not even say the joke. Maybe the joke just stinks anyway. So you're going to have people that aren't necessarily funny. Nia Jax, right? For example, and she's going to say some crazy shit and it's not going to land. That's what a roast is. So, okay, now we can roast her for having bad jokes, saying stupid things on the podium. That's what's supposed to happen like all night. That's, these people, you can't just be shit on all night and not be able to say anything back. So that's what a roast is, okay? It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be light. Nothing's supposed to be, it's all taken with a grain of salt. All right. And it's funny because a lot of it's true. The end. What do you think about all this obvious? We knew this was going to happen with the fans because I don't know what happened to you guys in the younger generations. How did this happen, Reezy, when older people are less offended by things than younger people? This is backwards. The younger people are supposed to not to give a shit about any of this, not the older people.
Man, I've been asking the same thing. This cancel culture thing and all this stuff is just destroyed the youth. It's destroying humanity. Just too much bullshit going on, and I would like to know where it started too.
Are they just trying to get clout?
You said what?
Is this just trying to get clout and like this? Like, I'm shocked and awed.
I just think people have just been brainwashed. People are so sensitive. People are so offended quickly. It's just the world we live in is just doomed, man. They're just doomed, man. There's nothing we can say. There's nothing we can say. I can't think of anything that won't offend somebody.
Hopefully people start to grow up and they stop becoming victims about everything. Shedeur Sanders was just drafted a little while ago, and all I'm seeing online the past day or so, and I know ball, I understand what's going on, but the Shedeur Sanders stuff, it's just like, well, you're racist if you don't think he should be drafted yet. Well, what? Why? The what's his name? Swerve Strickland stuff with Booker T. Now that that's died down, still, it's kind of like, why is everything black and white? Does anybody else notice that there are people trying to pit groups against each other so we don't look at the actual power of what's running everything? That's what's happening. Go ahead, kick me off again, TikTok. You can't because you already did.
Oh, did you hear the law they put into place? I think it's in Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're a black person and you're a first home buyer, you automatically get $120,000 as a down payment. Why? Look it up. That's not trying to separate people.
They're doing it in every shape and form. How about that kid that stabbed that other kid at the football thing and went into the wrong pen or whatever? Like, people online, they can't wait to make this an issue between everybody else that doesn't have anything to do with it. You know, like how ridiculous all of this is. And I just want people to just be aware that, you know, there's still people out here, they're being played like crazy. Nobody gives a fuck. You know, like right now, everybody's just trying to survive at this point. So if you think you're going to stir something up, I don't think it's going to work anytime soon. But hey, I'm on the lookout. I'm watching out here. I see what they're doing.
I'm just trying to pay my bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice Michael Myers shirt.
Stay alive.
He's painted on there.
Right. Yeah. It's my boy.
Yep, Michael Myers. Where are you at, Michael Myers? He's killing somebody again.
He's killing somebody. Loves the killing.
Yep. So I'm with Get the Tables. Shout out to Get the Tables. Quality broadcasts. Fake outrage for clout. I think a lot of it is that. And I love telling the story about that chick a couple years ago. You know, Velveteen Dream keeps trying to get into the business or whatever. And then recently he'd cut a little online promo about like apologizing to everybody in WWE again, you know, because he's a mental patient or what have you. I don't know. I don't really keep up that much. All I know is I love the Velveteen Dream. That whole gimmick, the Hogan pants, everything. It was the androgynous stuff about him. It was great. And then I wrote, like, I want him to come back, you know? And then I was getting attacked and people going like, go get him now. Because he said the Velveteen Dream did
because you had an opinion.
Imagine I have an opinion on a guy that supposedly did something that I'm not even like invested in or know about. And I'm supposed to catch heat because I want him to be back in wrestling, entertaining me. I didn't write in on Twitter, hey, I want this guy to come back and be in the DMs of little kids. I didn't write that.
Yeah. Right.
And it wasn't even, it was, I think the kid that he supposedly sent pictures to was 16, 17, 18. I don't know. Again, I don't really give a fuck. I'm talking about wrestling. And then people try to cancel me over shit I don't even know about.
It's gross. That's why it's hard for me to be online a lot of the time. I mean, I do it for the show and that's about it.
And you know, if this ever like really took off, people would be going back nitpicking every little, because we've said all kinds of crazy shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know? Hell yeah.
So yeah, have at it. You know, I really don't care. You know, like, that's
yeah.
If you don't care, like there's really nothing you can do about it. You go bitch to all the platforms about it and can try to get me thrown off of everything. But, you know, that's a waste of your time really too. Because I'm just going to pop up on Rumble or fucking Odyssey or some random thing nobody's ever heard of. So I'm always going to be here easy. You can't get rid of me that easy.
Oh, no. The doctor never dies. The doctor never dies.
Anything I've ever said on this show, I will say, yes, I said that on this show. I'm not gonna back down from it. I'm not gonna be afraid of you bringing shit up. If I say it, I meant to say it. So if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Like
10 years in the future that are looking back at this, can't believe that we're actually saying what's in our heads. Go fuck yourself. Come get us. Lock us up. Come on. We're ready.
Bring it.
Come on. No, we don't want you, Hogan. We don't want you, Michael Myers.
Are you going to arrest the great one?
Come on, arrest the great ones.
Right. Do it. I'll take a vacation.
Tessa can come back though. Right. Exactly, coach. Yeah. I don't know.
Don't be surprised if Del Rio pops up on your screen.
Oh God. That'd be great. And he needs to like really be himself.
I mean, him and JBL has a stable where they talk about deporting Mexicans in Mexico. They have a stable in Mexico where they're talking about deporting Mexicans.
That's
and
funny.
They get away
that's
with
funny.
it. So, but the people know it's a gimmick. So why here in America are you people so sensitive?
Exactly. It's just everything's such a goof. It's just like what we're doing here. This is a goof. Nothing.
Now what they should do is here's what would be funny. If they came back and told Roman that they're going to deport all Samoans. That's how you do it right there.
I think we're onto something.
I was thinking the other day, I don't know, it just popped into my head. Just a perfect character for a wrestler and just make him a bully. Not like Bully Ray. Just how about this? A specific wrestling character that only bullies jobbers.
Yeah.
Like anybody that loses a lot of matches or whatever, like this wrestler comes in and is always trying to chum up to the big time wrestlers like a Drew McIntyre, Priest, anybody that's close to the main roster, and anybody below that, he treats like complete shit.
Oh, like dog shit.
That would be hilarious.
That's fucking genius. That's genius.
So there you go.
Hey, do stuff like that. That's original.
It's already copyrighted.
Bring bullying back. God.
But I mean a true bully. Where it's like anybody above him, cool. Anybody below him, not cool.
Yeah.
And then the hilarity will ensue, folks.
Yep. A lot of face pushing.
Yeah, pie facing everybody. Tozawa walks up.
Should be ashamed.
Yeah, you want to team up with me? And he's like, get the fuck out of my face. You're terrible.
Scumbag. Go learn.
I love that my one note for the roast was WWE had a roast. Wah. That's literally what it was. It was like, oh, they had a roast. Oh, wah, they're racist. Yeah, everybody's racist.
Yeah.
So okay. And then are we ready for SummerSlam? Cardi B, stripper slam in New Jersey.
I don't know if I can watch that with her. I don't know. I don't know if I can watch it live because I got to fast forward through her stupid ass.
I don't understand why they bring these celebrities, these ignorant, stupid celebrities. It's always a dumb one.
Like Cardi B has nothing to do with wrestling. What are we doing?
The only reason they're bringing her on is because she tweeted about wrestling one day. I can't remember what it was.
Wow.
She was like, I don't know, I think she was a Bianca fan or something. And of course, WWE has to piggyback off that and say, hey, Cardi B's a wrestling fan. We have to bring her on TV. Well, shit, I'm a wrestling fan too. God damn it.
Yeah, why aren't we hosting?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if we hosted. You know how fucking entertaining that would be?
Very entertaining.
You could have this instead of Cardi B.
Well, we get the
remove Pat McAfee from the commentator table.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I would. You know what I would do if that say it's crazy, but they did. They called us in. They said we want you to do a pre-show, whatever. I'm not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I would go and I would order like 20 real life strippers to hang out with, like in the panel with us on the screen. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I would eat during it.
It would be eating and drinking.
Yep.
It'll be nice if we can get into one of those.
Making fun of the fans that are behind us.
Yeah, it'll be nice if we can get into one of those presses where they ask questions, where they ask the wrestlers questions when they're on there.
I gotta figure out how to do it. I could get into one when they come around. I just got to figure out. Like
there is a way to do it. There is a way to do it. You got to sign up and buy tickets. There's a way to do it. We'll figure it out.
It's funny. People are always like, they ask me questions about things like, how did you do this? And how did you do that? And I'm like, I tried. Believe it or not, everybody,
reach out.
if you just try a little bit, you can do something, right?
We've gotten press passes and shit in the past. You just got to try.
I asked. Like somebody, this one lady that watches all the Dabbleverse stuff is like, "How did you get Grillo on?" I'm like, I asked. I'm like, what else am I supposed to do? Like,
right.
There's no magic formula or anything. So yeah, that's why I was.
They say yes or they say no.
Reezy, when you were in Vegas, you already met a bunch of famous people there. But I'm like, dude, this is how the game is played. You just act like you're supposed to be somewhere, and everybody accepts it.
Yeah,
right.
That's really how it works. Like you know how many VIPs I just walk into now? I'm like, hey, I'm a VIP. I put that right in my head, and I just go right in, and everybody acts like I'm supposed to be there because, hey, I'm supposed. And if anybody says anything, I'm like looking at them like, what? Why are you bothering me? Is it because I'm black?
Yeah. Or just follow the crowd. I mean, that's how I was chilling with West Side Gun and stuff. He got up with his posse, and I just followed him, and they were cool with it.
Mm-hmm. Say, I'm a part of your posse now. I'm in your life.
That's like when we got into the elevator with Alexa Bliss. We acted like we were a bigger fucking deal than she was. You know what I mean? We put that shit into our head. That it was like, you're actually in here with us. We're not in here with you.
Well, you've told me before. Remember you ordered a pizza and the pizza man was playing our show in the car?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Somebody asked me. I went to a convenience store one time and they literally went over and whispered to me, are you that sleaze guy on the Dr. Something show? And I'm like, yes, Dr. Huge show. And he's like, yes, that's what it is. I've been listening to that.
I've had many people, I haven't done in a while, but when I would jump in space, I had many people say, hey man, you're on that one show, the Dr. Huge. Yeah. They're like, yeah, man, that's a cool show, man. I want to tune in more. And I always say, like, man, go back and watch some old episodes. You don't got to watch us as soon as we're live. Just go back and watch our episodes when you get the chance. People really like our show. Like, they dig our show.
Here's a little bit of history. So me and the doc are sitting at my old house, and we're trying to come up with a few ideas before we started the show. So we were making logos and everything. We put right on the main Dr. HUGENSTEIN show logo that we were the world's greatest show. We hadn't even started yet.
Hey, you got to be delusional or you're not going to make it. So when people are like, why do you make music? Like, nobody buys music anymore. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Because I want to. There's really, what else am I doing this for?
Right.
I have a life. I want to do something. I like certain things. I'm going to fucking do it.
You do this show because you want to do it. Not because somebody else wants to do it or somebody else wants you to do it. You do this show because it makes you happy, and this is what you want to do.
Well, we also figured that we could do it better than most.
We do it better than most.
Proven.
A lot of these podcasts are boring.
Yeah, it's not to shit on any other podcast, especially the ones that are talking wrestling, because there's a million of them now.
There's a billion,
which is fine. Like, I think that's good. Like, everybody needs a league to play in. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, this is almost 10 years ago, and I remember seeing all these podcasts popping up, and I'd be hearing some of them, and I'm like, you know what? I think my discussions with the sleaze, we would just be talking on the phone and chatting about wrestling. And I'm like, this is like 1,000 times better than what I've heard. And what you're saying, what I'm saying back to you, I'm like, why don't we just do a podcast? And that was it.
And here we are. And we do it better than most.
I would think so. I like to hope, right? Again, it's you have to be delusional if you want to be making it in anything that is obscure, weird. Like, this is a weird business to try to get into or try to start, but hey, what the fuck else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we hit almost everything. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Stripper Slam in New Jersey.
Shout out to AJ Francis, by the way. Cool dude.
AJ Francis. Oh, you met him too?
No, he was at the party hosting games on stage.
All right.
Yeah, he was. There we had a bunch of games that he was hosting. Him, Mandy Rose, and
You know what? We got to get why not get fucking the Fly God on?
that'd be awesome.
You know what? Hit him up.
That'd be freaking awesome.
Get it
I
done,
think
Reezy.
AJ Francis would come on, honestly.
Yeah. Ask everybody. We got the Saturday show, 3 p.m., everybody. Subscribe if you haven't. Retweet this if you're watching everywhere. They kicked us off TikTok, so we can't really go live on there anymore. But wherever you're watching, if you can't support on the store or anything else, that's the way to do it. Just hit some buttons. Hit the like button. Let's go.
Get it done.
And then I know I was asked earlier by the OG tribal chief, if you're still here, bro. Where is this say? I love this. Roman should wrestle in jean shorts. Who else agrees? Anyone? No one?
What?
Get him some jorts. That's what we used to call them. Jorts.
Oh, God.
Sexy.
That's stupid. I'm sorry, but that's what? What are we doing?
And also, I do agree with this. Why didn't they have the SmackDown TLC tag team match on Mania? I know that was fucking fire last night, bro. They were trying to live up to the Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Hardy Boys. That's what they're called. And the Dudley Boys type stuff last night with that spear by what's his name? D'Lo's son there from the Street Profits speared another guy from the Motor City Machine Guns. Such a long name. But yeah, that match last night was a banger. They could have easily had that on WrestleMania, and it would have been probably like the third best match in the whole night, maybe second. Yep. Well, there it is, everybody. I think we said it all.
We done it all, man.
And more.
We came, we kicked ass, and we left.
We did. How about this? I'm going to leave everybody with a little bit of CSWNN at the end, because I like to change it up, be weird. The White House just told us that they can mess with space and time.
Oh, good.
So I'm just going to leave you with that. Remember what I've been talking about the past few weeks? It's kind of creeping me out that like I'm starting to see headlines that have to do with what I was talking about as far as, these time traveling humans that are aliens. More on this later.
Stay tuned.
Thank you, Sleaze. Thank you for joining us once again. Thank you, King Reezy, who was actually at WrestleMania. Very famous. Met all the famous people. He's well known out here. Let him behind.
Maybe we can get a video going for him soon.
Yeah, one of these days. You're doing great, Reezy. Don't listen to the Sleaze.
Yeah,
it's all good, man.
I'm a piece of shit.
Everybody watch the show, man. I gotta thank the doc. A lot more. I'm with the best crew ever.
You should pray to me like Mecca.
We're the best podcast. We're the best podcast duo ever. We're the best podcast trio, man. Come on,
killing it. We're doing it. We're killing it. Shout out to Danny Damage as well. Thank you for coming on the UK out there. Baby's crying and everything, and he's still coming on. So shout out to him.
Don't let John Cena hear that shit.
Yeah, I know. He'll be coming for you, and he won't even cook them.
I'm also not going to cook you.
All right,
baby.
We did it. Until next week, everybody. Maybe we'll get some shows during the week. Check out the channel again on YouTube. Follow us, Dr. Huge Show on YouTube, DrHUGEshow. And you got clips and shorts and all kinds of stuff coming out. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Titillate
later.
The juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock. Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself. That's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
After you.
No more. No more. No more.
Is finished.
Finished.